Friday night at Fenway as Millar and Mirabelli monster mash the Red Sox to 5 wins in a row. What a relief. In the last 3 games, the Red Sox bullpen has combined for 6 1/3 scoreless innings. Close the door. The committee is in session. Live from Fenway Park, NESN presents Boston Red Sox baseball. Today, the Red Sox take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. The Red Sox and the Jays play Game 2 today, and the Red Sox look to make it 6 in a row. It's been a pretty good stretch for Boston as they've won 5 in a row coming into today. The starters 3-0 during that period as Lowe, Martinez, and Wakefield the winners. The much-maligned Boston bullpen over the last 3 games, 6 1/3, no runs and 4 hits. So far, a lot of power for Boston. 8 home runs, including 2 for Kevin Millar on this current homestand and 5-game winning streak. As always, I welcome my partner, Jerry Remy. And Jerry, today we get another look at Derek Lowe, who's been good.
Well, he got his act together last time out, Don. A beautiful performance against the Baltimore Orioles, and he had that sinker ball really working for him. His first couple of starts, he was leaving a lot of pitches up in the zone. He watched some video between starts, noticed that his front shoulder was flying out. He tucked it in that last outing and kept everything down. And when you look at the numbers for him over his last couple of starts, the big difference is the number of pitches he's thrown. 104 pitches in 5 1/3 against Toronto. He can't work that way. Last time, only 95 pitches in 7 innings of shutout baseball. So whatever Lowe did find in those videos, it certainly helped him. Now, if he can pick up a win today, he might get himself on a pretty darn good roll.
Well, it's a little warmer here today at the Old Ball Yard, and today is Kids Opening Day. We're back with more from Fenway after this. Boston Red Sox baseball and NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. By your Eastern Lexus dealer in the new 2004 RX-30, putting the world on notice again. And by Citizens Bank, not your typical bank. Well, good afternoon again, everybody, and welcome back to Fenway Park. It is sun-drenched Fenway Park today, and certainly a welcome sight after what has been some chilly nights here. It is still on the cool side at Fenway, but at least it is sunny and blue skies above on this Kids Opening Day here at Fenway Park. Of course, you have the regular opening day. What now, better than a week ago, but now the kids have a chance to come out on their opening day, and there are plenty of them here today, and thankfully, the conditions are much better for them this afternoon. Going to have some special events that take place here prior to the game, and we don't want to ruin too many surprises, but we can tell you this, which is kind of exciting. James Taylor is on hand here today, and he'll be doing the national anthem, and hopefully he'll be able to talk to us at some point this afternoon as well, and that will be part of the pregame also. And some kids will be coming out with the players as well on this opening day for kids at Fenway Park. And the Red Sox will be looking to make it 6 in a row here today, coming in with a 5-game winning streak. And a lot will rest on the shoulders of that man, Derek Lowe, who gets the start today for Boston. Derek in his 4th appearance of the young season, and the conditions here during the day will be better for him than the last few nights for the Red Sox, but who can argue with the results that the Red Sox have had the last few nights?
It's been a good week for the Red Sox, obviously. In every phase of the game, their starting pitching has been outstanding. Their bullpen work has been very, very good. They've had some clutch hitting. They've played very good defense. So all in all, in some very nasty conditions here over the last couple of nights, Red Sox have played some pretty darn good baseball. And, you know, Wakefield in that game last night, so cold and very hard for him to control that knuckleball. But he battled through it and gave his team a chance to win that game last night.
Well, the 1:20 start time today, so we'll come back and show you some of the festivities here today on Kids Opening Day. We'll step aside and be back with more after this. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park on a fine afternoon. Game 2 of this 4-game series between the Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. And The player introductions going on right now down on the field as the Red Sox will be getting ready to take the field today against Toronto. And Jerry, during this stretch, it's been an impressive time for the Red Sox, but it seems that some of the problems that the bullpen has quieted some of the critics.
Well, you're looking at someone right there. Kevin Tolak came into the game last night, got the 3 outs. Working as the left-hander, of course, replacing Alan Embry right now in that bullpen. He got a key out earlier in the week to get a final out of the inning on a pop-up. So, you know, everybody's made some contributions this past week from the bullpen. And I'm sure, obviously, they feel much, much better about themselves.
Well, we're getting ready for both anthems here today. First, of course, the Canadian anthem, and we'll head down to the field level for that.
Singer and actor, Mr.
We stand on God for thee. Great job.
And now we welcome the performer of the Star-Spangled Banner. This New England native is one of the most accomplished singers, songwriters, and recording artists in American music history. His career has spanned more than 30 years and has included 9 top 10 albums, 18 top 10 singles, and 4 Grammy Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a hometown hero and great Red Sox fan, Mr. James Taylor.
Thank you.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars o'er the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, James Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our ceremonial first pitch. Today, we welcome the host of the Food Network show's 30-minute meals and $40 a day. A Cape Cod native, she has authored a series of cookbooks based on the concept of her television show, with 2 new books coming out this year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Food Network celebrity host and the self-professed biggest Red Sox fan in the world, Ms. Rachel Ray. Nice throw, Rachel. The Red Sox wish you the best of luck with your books and on television. finally, for the last two words of our ceremony, welcome lucky 9-year-old Casey Yaba, 8-year-old Michael Yaba, and 7-year-old Nicholas Yaba from Everett, Massachusetts, who will say the words we love to hear.
We will step aside and come back with more from Fenway. The lineups in the first pitch after this. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park as the Red Sox are about to take the field in this matinee affair against the Toronto Blue Jays. Game 2 of a 4-game weekend series wrapped around, of course, the events on Monday, the Marathon and Patriots Day. And kids opening day here at Fenway Park, and a lot of kids here today as the Red Sox get ready to take the field. We also want to mention today that we're being carried, Jerry. We're often carried in the Dominican and other places, but because Major League Baseball International has picked us up this afternoon, we are in England.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, Tony Blair is a big Red Sox fan. I know that because I talked to W the other day, and he told me that Tony's a big Red Sox fan. So hello in England.
Well, if he's a Red Sox fan, then he's got to be a Red Dog fan.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know he loves baseball, and every time he and George W together, they try to catch a game.
Very nice. Well, we are on in England, so we'll say hello to our friends in England this afternoon. There come the Red Sox to take the field. Let's take a look at the visiting Toronto Blue Jays starting lineup. Shannon Stewart at the top of the order. The left fielder leads it off. Frank Catalanato in right field batting second. Vernon Wells in center field with Carlos Delgado. 19 RBIs, second in the American League in that category. Josh Phelps to the DH. Eric Hinsky is at third base. Greg Myers does the catching. Chris Woodward is the shortstop. And Orlando Hudson, the switch hitting second baseman, bats ninth.
Red Sox defense is brought to you by your Boston area Lexus dealers. It'll be Bill Miller at third base, Nomar at shortstop, Todd Walker at second, and Kevin Millar at first. Left to right, Manny Ramirez, Johnny Damon, and Trot Nixon. Jason Veritek behind the plate. And on the mound, making his fourth start of the year, will be Derek Lowe. The record of 2-1. The wins coming against Tampa Bay in his first outing. He lost to Toronto up at Sky Dome. In that ball game, 5 1/3, 9 hits and 5 runs. But right back last time out against Baltimore, 7 shutout innings, only giving up 5 hits against the Orioles. And of course, the Red Sox won that ball game 2-0.
And the umpiring crew, Dale Scott has the plate, Laz Diaz at first base, Jim Reynolds at second, and Jim Joyce, the umpire, at third.
Let's take a look at today's game notes, brought to you by your New England Toyota dealers. The Blue Jays, only team in the majors without a stolen base or a sacrifice so far this season. Red Sox home runs in 10 straight games, and 5-game win streak at home, the longest since July 1st through the 4th a year ago. And temperatures, I'm sure, a little warmer July 1st through the 4th than they have been over the last couple of days here at Fenway.
Undoubtedly. Where available, today's broadcast can be heard in Spanish by using the SAP function on your TV set.
And for those watching in England, buenas tardes, amigos. And of course, that's Spanish if you're listening in England. Cheerio, cheerio in England.
There's Shannon Stewart. I was wondering where you were going with that. I really wasn't. But Shannon Stewart, 296, no homers, 7 runs batted in. And Derek Lowe, like many of the Red Sox, going with the long sleeves look here today. The sun may be out and it's a tad deceiving. It is still very chilly here this afternoon, and we're told that as the weekend goes on, it should warm up. And hopefully by Monday it'll be very warm. As Diaz said that Shannon Stewart offered. Derek Lowe making his 4th appearance of the young season. And his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Well, that's a great way to start for Derek Lowe. I mean, watch this last sinker. There is all kind of sinking action on this pitch. It's just the drops down and in to Shannon Stewart. Now, Shannon Stewart That's only the 6th strikeout. He's one of the toughest guys in the league to strike out. Boy, that was some nasty movement on that sinker.
One down for Frank Catalanato. Catalanato coming up in the Tigers system, really had some breakout seasons with the Texas Rangers. And now here with the Toronto Blue Jays. Off to a fine beginning. 305. You notice the bunting is out today. It is, of course, kids opening day here at Fenway Park. So the bunting is back out again this afternoon. There's certainly far better conditions today for this opening day than the real opening day here at Fenway Park.
Now, if you got a seat in the sun today, it's probably pretty comfortable. Still a little cool in the shade.
Chop towards Nomar. Shortstop, the high hop, and the good throw. 2 down.
You know, all of a sudden this has made me very nervous because when those folks in England hear my English, they'll be turning the volume down.
Well, they're very proper, and sometimes you're very proper.
Not grammatically correct all the time, though.
But it's part of your appeal, I think. There's Vernon Wells, the center fielder. You're a Real World fan, aren't you, on MTV?
What's that?
You're a Real World fan on MTV.
I've watched some of that, yeah.
I think one of the best Real Worlds was the one they did in England. I don't remember that one.
No, I must have missed that.
Oh, it was outstanding. Lowe with the 1-1. Chopped again to Nomar. Charging and throwing on the run. Nifty play turned in by Garcia Parra. Derek Lowe has a fine first inning, a strikeout, 2 groundouts. 1, 2, 3 go the Jays. Boston coming up.
Center fielder, number 18.
Back at Fenway, Toronto doesn't score in the top of the first. Let's take a look at the Red Sox starting lineup in the bottom of the first. Johnny Damon in center. Todd Walker at second base. Nomar at short. Manny Ramirez at left. Kevin Millar riding the 14-gamer into today's game. Nixon at right. Miller at third. Giambi the DH. And Jason Varitek does the catching. He bats ninth. Here's Johnny Damon to get us started. Tall Tanyan Sturts in the first pitch of his afternoon.
Hey, he's off to a great start. Record of 2-0 so far. One of those wins coming against the Red Sox, the other Minnesota. Last year only 4-18 with the Devil Rays.
First, Tanyan Sturts, born in Worcester, Massachusetts, now resides in beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida during the offseason. Played baseball and basketball in Worcester. Graduated from St. Peter Marian High School in Worcester. Now reunited with his general manager, J.P. Ricciardi, who's also Worcester born. Saw J.P. before the ball game. Damon taking the strike.
Tanyan Sturts 1-0 this year against the Red Sox. I mentioned that win up at Sky Dome. 4-6 in his career against Boston clubs.
Damon slaps it foul off the left side. Well, last year, Tanyan Sturts, member of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and like many of the Devil Rays starters, really had a tough year. He started off 0-8 a year ago, so to be 2-0 this season has got to be a great feeling for him. He walks Johnny Damon to begin his outing.
Well, let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense, brought to you by the Boston area Lexus dealers. They are 14th in the league, 17 errors in 17 games. Eric Hinsky at third, Chris Woodward the shortstop, Orlando Hudson at second, and Carlos Delgado at first. Stuart Wells, Catalanato in the outfield. Greg Myers gets the start behind the plate this afternoon.
So Damon at first via the walk as he's held on by Delgado, and here's Todd Walker. Shortens up and takes ball 1. Walker with 2 home runs for the Red Sox so far this season in his first year. At the lip of the grass at third is Eric Hinsky, in case he has any intentions of bunting as he takes the strike.
I was thinking, Don, in England right now, it's they are what, 6 or 7 hours ahead.
Are they? I didn't know.
So about 7 o'clock maybe in the evening. 5 hours, I guess, ahead. So it's about 6 o'clock. That means Keith Richards is just getting out of bed.
1-1. Look out. Bat goes flying into the seats. As a grip lost by Todd Walker. Looks like everybody's all right down there.
Looks like Todd's just going to let him have that souvenir and take a new bat.
I said everybody's all right. It's easy for me to say. I think they may have gotten it on the year, it looks like. So he's all right. And he's got a bat to show for it as well. They did let him keep the bat that struck him.
It looks like he's going to get a hot dog, too. That guy should buy him a hot dog.
The 1-2. Right back and off the glove of Sturtz. It appeared, and by the time Woodward can run it down, not much you can do with it. Not shot off the bat of Todd Walker, right back where it came from.
Yeah, that ball deflected so far off the glove of Tanyan Sturtz that it actually went back over the head of Woodward and Hudson at second base. And of course, from that position, no chance to make any play at all.
So 2 on and nobody out. Here's Nomar. Garcia Parr 306, 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. Well, that was a neat rendition of the national anthem today by James Taylor. Outstanding. And great thrill. Had the chance to meet him before the ball game downstairs, and he was supposed to sing here about a week or so ago, but that was the game that was rained out, the day portion of the day-night doubleheader that was here at Fenway Park. So he came back today, and a lot of the Red Sox players were out to greet him, and Tim Wakefield, one of the first. He's a very big James Taylor fan. And James was talking about one of the greatest guitarists of all time, and Mark Knopfler, before the game, and he is of English descent as well. I understand that he's had a motorcycle accident that has set him back and a little bit on his tour. Kickoff play in the making as Hudson cheated in from second base. Chopped down the third base line. Hinsky will tag the bag at third for the force out. And the inning's first out.
Left fielder, Manny Ramirez.
One away, and it brings up Manny with 2 on here in the first inning. Manny had 277, 2 homers, and 11 runs batted in. First one missing away from Sturtz. The Sox riding the 5-game winning streak, and Manny has had great success against Sturtz. Both Cleveland and Boston. On the ground towards Woodward, who will start 2 if he can, and does, to end the inning. 6-4-3 on the inning-ending double play. The Red Sox come away with nothing. We played an inning from sun-drenched Fenway, no score.
Back at Fenway, no score after 1 inning. Well, H.P. Hood is rooting for the Red Sox and kids throughout New England. Each time the Red Sox strike out an opponent, make a double play, or hit a home run at Fenway, Hood donates $100 to the Hood Home Team Advantage Fund. Over the past 2 years, over $300,000 has been raised for children's hospitals all over New England.
1 inning in the books. Scoreless back at Fenway, ready for the top of the 2nd inning. And Carlos Delgado to lead it off. Derek Lowe had his kind of first inning. A strikeout, 2 groundouts. And he retired the first 3 Toronto Blue Jays in quick fashion. Delgado at .390 to begin the season. Puts him 6th in the American League. Sixth in the league overall, but on the road, he leads everybody. Fine beginning for Travis Lee so far this season. This is grounded foul. So let me get this straight. If at this moment Prince Charles decides to throw on his TV set, he could watch the Red Sox against the Toronto Blue Jays and hear us.
Absolutely.
That's true?
Absolutely.
This is terrific. I think we should like pick a different country, maybe every telecast that we could then be introduced to.
Sure the Queen's watching.
Good cut from Delgado.
Charles might be out playing polo, though. He's a big polo guy. I don't know if it's polo season in England, but
it's early evening, right?
And they play under the lights.
Delgado strikes out. Lowe starts off the 2nd the same way he started off the 1st. That's by way of the K. 1 down.
It was a fastball to get Stewart back in the 1st inning, but a curveball here to get Carlos Delgado for the strikeout. So in the early going, Derek Lowe's location excellent, like it was last time out against the Orioles.
One down, 4 in a row. Retired by Derek Lowe to begin the day. Here's Josh Phelps, the young DH for the Toronto Blue Jays. In there for a strike. Josh Phelps 9 for his last 48. Last year had a terrific first season for Toronto. Was Rookie of the Month in the American League. 2 different occasions as he sends this one through the left side into left field, and there's the first base runner of the day for Toronto.
Now Josh Phelps starting to pick it up. Awfully slow start along with Hinsky, but now with a kind of a mini 4-game hitting streak going after this base hit. Phelps previous to that at bat was only 1 for 9 off Derek Lowe.
Here comes last year's Rookie of the Year, Toronto 3rd baseman Eric Hinsky. Having the same kind of success so far in year 2 as he comes into today's events, hitting at just 190 so far in the season. Hinsky appears on the cover of the Toronto Blue Jays media guide this season, holding his Rookie of the Year honor and award. Snap throw from Varitek that almost got away from Millar, but it's on the tardy side. Back in plenty of time was Josh Phelps. Gets away from Varitek, and up to second base goes Josh Phelps.
Varitek just couldn't get the handle on the curveball from Derek Lowe, and that allows Phelps to move up into scoring position. As that curveball again, tried to throw the same pitch he did to Delgado, but that time More inside, gets by Veritek, and a man in scoring position. We mentioned last night and again today that the Blue Jays do not have a stolen base on the season, which is pretty incredible. Going today into their, what, 18th game of the year.
So Josh Phelps in scoring position very quickly, and the 1-2. In the left center field for a base hit. Phelps had to wait, so he breaks to third base. Got a very late break. Make sure that Damon wasn't going to come up with that. And Phelps goes to third on the single for Hinske.
He didn't make a real good read, did he, at second base on that line drive. Usually as a base runner, you take a peek at the outfield, you see how deep they're playing. So when a line drive like this goes out to that area, you should be able to get an excellent jump at second, but he hesitated, not sure if that ball is going to be caught or not, and he can only make third base. So that's a break for the Red Sox. It keeps the possible double play in order with a sinker ball pitcher on the mound.
So Phelps at third, Hinske at first, one down, and here comes Greg Myers. Myers at .241 so far in the season with a home run, 3 runs batted in. Home run was against the Red Sox when Boston was in Toronto at Skydome. This is game 6 of an 11-game road trip for the Jays, their longest road trip of the season. Began in New York with a 4-gamer. They were 1-3 against the Yankees. And then after their series here, which is a 4-gamer against the Red Sox, Carlos Tosca and his Jays will head to Tampa Bay for the final 3. Runner at first is off, and this is fouled off by Greg Myers.
That's something you almost have to do when Lowe's on the mound. If you just can't hang out at first base, because a double play will end the inning. So you'll see a lot of managers try to get those runners in motion with the hit and run or the straight out steal to try to create some offense.
Amazing that they don't have any stolen bases, though. I mean, Shan Stewart can run a little bit. It looks like Vernon Wells can run a little, but
yeah, they've got a couple of guys that have been thrown out. You know, Stewart once, but you're not going to run Wells much because he's sitting in front of Delgado in that lineup. And that's almost a guaranteed intentional walk if he steals second base and Delgado comes to the plate. Let's see if they run again on the 2-1 count.
Here comes the 2-1. They do not, and Myers takes ball 3. Chris Woodward, their shortstop, waits on deck. Him. So the first walk of the day from Derek Lowe as he worked Greg Myers away and ends up walking him, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
Number 5, Chris Woodward.
We're working towards the bottom of the Toronto Blue Jays order with Chris Woodward, the shortstop, standing in with the bases filled with Blue Jays and 1 out. They're in the top half of the second inning. And there's a strike over the inside corner.
All of a sudden, too, a couple of Derek pitches here have been left up in the zone. That sinker ball did not really sink that much, about belt high.
Something that we saw in his first couple of outings, but it looked like he had harnessed the last 2 times out, and misses this time.
Upstairs again.
Phelps at third, Hinske at second, Myers at first, with 1 out here in the second inning. The wind has shifted and is now blowing in. Down the line in right. This could be trouble as Nixon moves over. It is a foul ball. Wow. There's not much foul ground to grab down there, but somehow it did. Amazingly and fortunately for the Red Sox. And that's Diaz down there to make the call.
Yeah, a lot of slice on that off the bat of the right-hander, and just barely in foul territory. Not much room, obviously, down in that corner. Excellent call by Laz Diaz, the first base umpire.
Getting down there, you could almost always assume is going to be a fair ball just because there's not that much room for it not to be. Unfortunately for Derek Lowe, it found some of that small space. Now the 1-2. Chopped foul by the Toronto dugout.
Of course, Laz Diaz, as Don mentioned earlier, he was at first base in Chicago when he was attacked by a fan. Laz, an ex-Marine, not a real wise move for a fan, and
Picked the wrong guy.
out of extra security added in Chicago. It's about time. They've had a couple of crazy incidences at that ballpark, and really all around the league.
And they are hosting the All-Star game this year at Comiskey Park as they try to get that situation under control. Looked like he punched at it, did he? No. Miles at first said he did not offer it. Up here it looked like it did, and Brady probably thinks it did.
Might be a good call by Laz Diaz there. Looks like he had control of the head of the bat.
Bases loaded with one out. And again over by the Blue Jays dugout.
That's that section down there where the Toronto staff will sit, those first couple of rows near the dugout.
Strikeout of the day for Derek Lowe. He couldn't have picked a better time to pick up his third. 2 down.
That changing locations, he had been pounding Woodward with fastballs inside. This time, that's how he gets a lot of left-handers out. He'll throw that ball off the plate and pick up the outside corner. Huge strikeout. 2 outs now. Base is still loaded. You get that hit of thinking in. Everything had been inside on the hands, and then finally Lowe switches up, goes to the outside corner, and just completely froze Woodward.
Here's the number 9 hitter, switch hitting Orlando Hudson. It's a 200 so far this season from his number 9 spot in the Jays order. On the ground, right side. Millar's going to need help. Lowe is there, and he gets out of the inning unscathed. Well, it took some doing, but Derek Lowe gets it done. The Jays do not score in the second inning. On to the bottom of the second. No score from Fenway. Of a pretty messy situation in the top of the second inning as the Blue Jays leave them loaded. And the Red Sox come to bat for the second time today, led by Kevin Millar. 404 to begin the year for Millar. Places him 3rd in the American League behind Blaylock and Fulmer so far this season. Millar tied with a whole host of players for 3rd in home runs with 5. To left, Shannon Stewart coming on, diving to make the catch. Hung up long enough for Stewart to make a bid, and the Blue Jays left fielder makes the catch.
Shannon Stewart playing left field the way you should play it here at Fenway Park, and that's shallow, because you can do this. You can take base hits away. You have to worry about that wall behind you. Ball gets over your head, it's going to be a double anyway, so they can play shallow and take some base hits away. Now, probably, you know, bigger field like in Toronto, he's probably a little bit deeper, and that might be a base hit. But he plays it correctly for a visiting player.
With that in mind, it's amazing how many guys play deep in left field.
Yeah, a lot of guys come here and they play on that warning track close to it with their back against the wall, apparently not comfortable on going back. But the fact is, if the ball's over your head, I mean, it's going to be off the wall anyway.
Here's Trot Nixon, the Red Sox right fielder. Started 333. Home run, 5 runs batted in. There appears to be a swirling wind today. Right now that flag in left center is blowing in. As it misses to Nixon. And not with the veracity that was here the other night. I'm told it was quite cold last night also, Jerry.
Well, for the first time in 3 days, we can actually have our window open.
It's very nice. Fresh air. In the dirt to Nixon. 2-2. Walker has the Red Sox only hit so far today. And 2-2 to Nixon. So foul off the left side and up off the facing of the press box.
Red Sox today will see fastball around 90-91 from Tanyan Sturtz. Breaking ball and split-fingered fastball.
Tanyan Sturtz this year. There's a new lease on life after getting out of Tampa Bay. I guess that's the right way to say. Foul tipped. And Myers could not hold on to it. Got a big piece of him as well.
Well, you figured Nixon put a tough at bat against Sturtz. 419 with a 1 career home run against Tanyan.
It always kind of amazed me how some guys have the number of another pitcher and other guys they just can never figure out. They seem to take that confidence with them through the rest of their career. And full count now to Nixon. Sturtz 0-8 last year, 2-0 so far this season. His earned run average 4.42. And today his 4th start of the year with the Toronto Blue Jays. Hit hard and a fair ball down the line into the right field corner. Nixon's going to run a while. Frank Catalanato digs it out, but not before Trot stands at second base with a 1-out double.
Red Sox have now hit 46 doubles on the season. That is the most in the American League, and Nixon picks up his 6th double. Gets on top of that high fastball and hooks it right down the line. Very carefully played out in that corner. Very tough corner to play, and Catalanato plays it to just about right. Keeps Nixon at second base with that double.
Here's Bill Miller, who gets to start at third base today for the Red Sox, a switch hitter. And after the first pitch, skies it to center for Vernon Wells. 2 down. Nixon bluffing will retreat to the bag at second.
Well, game time is Miller time at Fenway and on Nesson. Stop by our participating Fenway area retailer before the game, and you can win free tickets to the game. End up on Nesson. And the game time is Miller time, Fenway seats. And these folks somewhere out in this area sitting in those Miller seats.
Two down for Jeremy Giambi, the Red Sox DH. Jeremy had 156, a home run, 7 runs batted in.
Oh, by the way, I got an email the other day about those seats, and the fan mentioned the fact that those are alcohol-free seats, but that's not quite accurate. Where those folks are sitting, you can't have a cocktail, but there are some seats that are set further up than that are not non-alcohol.
So those are alcohol full.
So I mean, this is all legal. This Miller time thing is legal.
Above board. So that section is an alcohol full section, not free.
Right. In other words, if you want to oil up, you can oil up in that section there.
Nixon at second with 2 outs, and Giambi golfs it out down towards the oil zone off the left side. Shannon Stewart will flip it back up into the seats.
That looked like Prince Charles, didn't it? The guy that got the...
Off the left side now to play.
That's over in England, cricket. Very big game, very, very similar to baseball. And baseball actually was derived from cricket, and rounders. Is it rounders? I believe that's the name of it. Yeah.
Cricket never ends, though, right? I mean, you could play cricket forever. There's no clock or anything. It's kind of like baseball in that regard.
Yep.
They also have tea time. I think I'd like that. Tea time every day. Catcher headed out, Greg Myers. Check on Tanyan Sturtz. Well, we have a moment. Just wanted to send the best wishes along to Julie Benson of Grafton, Mass. Father was kind enough to send along a note. Apparently she's been very ill, and we hope that she feels better. Nice to hear from her dad, Ken Benson, from Grafton, Massachusetts. There's Trot Nixon at second base with 2 down. Up and away to Giambi that time. 2-2 to the Red Sox DH. Again, missing his mark. A full count to Giambi. And Sturtz recording back-to-back quality starts. Each of his 2 previous starts. First time he can make that statement since July of 2002. The Blue Jays have scored 17 runs in his first 2 starts this season. So he's had plenty of run support. Giambi in a lengthy at bat fouls off another. Sturtz last year finished up the year at 4-18 with a 5.18 earned run average and 33 starts with the Devil Rays. His 18 losses were the most by an AL pitcher since Scott Erickson lost 19 for the Twins in '93. One hopper right to Orlando Hudson. Took a little while to get rid of it, but he does to retire Giambi, and the Red Sox leave a runner in scoring position. We played 2 on a sunny day at Fenway. No score.
At Nissan, we were brainstorming about the Sentra, and everyone had something to add. A more powerful engine, automatic transmission, anti-lock brakes, 15-inch alloy wheels, a 180-watt 7-speaker stereo. The result, the 2.5 limited edition Sentra. Unlimited possibilities with 0.9 financing for 60 months or $1,500 cash back. Available at your Nissan dealer now.
And now with a late-breaking story, here's Suzanne.
Thanks, Tom. As the volcano continues to erupt, we take you live to correspondent John Ryland, who's at the scene. John, what's the situation?
Suzanne, as you can see behind me, the lava is covering an area of about 2 square miles. It's a bad situation, but I do have good news.
What's that, John?
I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Drinks before lunch?
Water's fine for me.
Water for me too, but with lemon, please.
I'll have a Sam Adams, please.
Make that 2 Sam Adams.
I'll have a Sam also. Me 4.
Nice. Never miss an opportunity to enjoy a tasty Samuel Adams lager, especially when it's on someone else's tab. Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
The left fielder.
Top of the third, no score. Blue Jays Red Sox at Fenway will celebrate kids opening weekend tomorrow when the Red Sox take on the Blue Jays at Fenway. Sunday is photo day. Come out early and take pictures of your favorite Red Sox from 12 to 12:30 p.m. First pitch is at 2:05. Tickets are available 24 hours a day at 877 Red Sox 9 at redsox.com or during business hours at Fenway Park.
A little more comfortable today out there on the green monster seats above the wall and left. And a great vantage point looking right down into the hitter. And that hitter is the top of the Toronto order, Shannon Stewart, who struck out in the first inning. Stewart has done pretty well against Derek Lowe. 27 at bats, 9 hits. Chopped to Nomar at short. 1 down.
The ball hit the lip of the grass and took a hard right on Garcia Parra, but he was able to regroup and make the play on the backhand. Well, with all the tough weather conditions we had all winter long and even this spring, the field's in pretty darn good shape, isn't it?
Certainly is. David Meller and his crew have done a terrific job. Noticing that David has come out with yet another book, it looks like, Jerry.
I'm going to take that home with me and see if I can get that grass and in my yard looking pretty decent.
You're going to put patterns in on the yard?
I'll do that, you know, for tomorrow, like Easter Sunday, put a big egg in the front yard or something.
Catalinato grounded to short his first time. Now he sends it towards second. Ooh, and from the outfield, Walker almost threw that away, but that's Catalinato 2 down.
Yeah, he threw a seed over to Kevin Millar at first base. Unfortunately, Kevin did not stretch too soon. If he did, that ball would have zipped right by him. It's going to be off towards his right shoulder. Ooh, little submarine-style rising fastball to first base.
2 down, 4 in a row. Retired by Derek Lowe, and it brings up Vernon Wells. Grounded to short his first time. Did he go? No. Says Laz Diaz at first. Vernon Wells, a first-round draft choice by the Toronto Blue Jays. And has played center field pretty much exclusively the last 2 years now, certainly with Jose Cruz Jr. out of the mix here in Toronto. It was a very crowded outfield for part of last year, but now Jose Cruz Jr.'s part of that is gone. Of course, J.P. Ricciardi was able to unload Raul Mondesi to the Yankees, their right fielder, last year. Jose Cruz Jr. was up for arbitration. They chose not to offer that to him and probably saved $4 or $5 million. Gave them a chance to go out and get some other players. Wells goes after the 3-1. Nomar goes deep from the hole in shortstop. The throw not on the mark. And Millar had to come off the bag, and Wells reaches with 2 outs.
Nomar knew he had to rush because of the very good speed of Vernon Wells, and after releasing this on the run like he normally will do, ball just sails back in down that first base line. Millar with the sweet tag, but not in time. And the Red Sox move into their Carlos Delgado shift. 3 infielders on the right side, and only Bill Miller left to defend the left side.
Delgado struck out swinging in the second inning. One of 3 strikeouts for Derek Lowe so far. And he almost hits him with the first pitch. Surprised that he's only faced Derek Lowe 10 times, also walked 9 times, so those are not official at-bats. Delgado's had a fine beginning in home runs with 5, tied with many others, including Kevin Millar. A-Rod out to the best start, 7 home runs. Of course, the Red Sox will be heading to Texas after the final game of this series. Take on A-Rod and the Texas Rangers.
How about Carl Everett? Carl Everett with 5 home runs.
Off to a great start.
Texas Rangers lead the American League in home runs to this point. They've hit 32 as a team.
The trip consists of a series in Texas and then on to Anaheim to play the world champion Angels. There's a strike to Delgado. He knew it. He takes with him the 4th strikeout for Derek Lowe of the afternoon. The Jays leave a man on. We played 2.5 from Fenway. No score.
At Nissan, we were brainstorming about the Sentra, and everyone had something to add. A more powerful engine, automatic transmission, anti-lock brakes, 15-inch alloy wheels, a 180-watt 7-speaker stereo. The result, the 2.5 limited edition Sentra. Unlimited possibilities with 0.9 financing for 60 months or $1,500 cash back. Available at your Nissan dealer now.
Did you catch Sports Plus Thursday night? It's Sports Plus a whole lot of this.
I'm going to throw out a name to Bucky Jones. Good deal, bad deal. What's the deal?
They got rid of him for a bunch of middle round draft picks and a bucket of Titleist golf balls, basically.
They weren't going to be able to sign him within the next year. They got what they could while they could.
The Boston Globe Sports Plus, sponsored by Sam Adams, Wednesday night after Red Sox baseball on Nesson.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Nesson is brought to you by your Lincoln Mercury dealers, who invite you to come in and see the full line of Lincoln and Mercuries today. By LoJack, the only auto security system that was designed to actually track and recover stolen cars. LoJack, keep it close. Bottom of the 3rd inning, no score. Toronto out hitting Boston 3-2. And 9-1-2 featured for the Red Sox. Veritek, Damon, and Walker expected in the inning. Jason at .268 so far in the season, and Veritek started off very hot. He's cooled off a little bit, and Doug Mirabelli has been on fire. Doug getting the start last night, and Veritek getting hit here today, and he'll reach base to lead things off here in the 3rd.
The center fielder, number 18, Johnny.
Tanyan Sturtz not believing that Veritek had hit, but the home plate umpire Scott explaining just where that ball did graze Jason Veritek.
Second time today that the lead runner has reached for the Red Sox. Johnny Damon walked in the 1st inning. And now Veritek's been hit by a pitch to reach in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's Johnny Damon. Looks at strike 1 from Tanyan Sturtz. That's pretty cool. I like that.
What was that?
I don't know, but it was very cool.
That caught me by surprise.
I knew it was coming, but I didn't share. It was neat. The 1-1 to Damon. Slash foul off the left side. That'll kick up off the facade, back down again.
Boy, this Nesson broadcast is getting scary. I mean, you don't know when things are going to pop up.
All kinds of action.
Wow.
Damon waiting on the 1-2. Of Arakinski to left towards the corner. Veritek is running towards 3rd. Coverage will stop him there. Into second base goes Johnny Damon with a double.
Pretty good pitch by Tanyan Sturtz. It's going to be away from Damon, but he just covers the whole plate, reaches out and slaps it right down that third base line. Shannon Stewart did a pretty nice job down here to get this ball out of the corner and keep Veritek from scoring. Goes to the backhanded play right at the 310 and quickly gets it back in. But the Red Sox in business here, second and third and nobody out.
The Red Sox have had base runners in every inning so far. And here comes Todd Walker, who singled in the first inning. One of 3 Boston hits so far. Veritek at third, Damon at second. Walker backs out of the way. 2-0. Sturtz wants a new baseball on which to work with. Todd Walker has now reached base safely in the first 16 games of his season. And he takes the strike. 2-1. He's hit safely in 13 of the first 15 games now with his base hit back in the first inning. Well, the 2-1. In the air to left, down the line. Stewart moves over. It's bending, and it's off the wall. In from third comes Veritek. Damon in behind him. It's a 2-run wall ball double for Todd Walker, and the Red Sox lead it 2-0.
Now back-to-back left-handed hitters going to the opposite field against Tanyan Sturtz. Todd Walker plants this off the wall right down the line and drives in a couple of runs, his 7th and 8th RBI of the season. That little bobble there didn't mean anything. Walker just hangs out at second base. So it all started with just barely getting a piece of Veritek for the hit batter, and back-to-back hits, back-to-back doubles.
Now you get into the height of the order. Here's Nomar. Goes the opposite way. Catalanotto is there. And on the line drive, it's plenty deep enough for Walker to tag and move to third with one away.
Hit out by Garciaparra. Hit the ball well. You'd like to get a base hit, but you're going to make it out. Hit it deep enough to advance that man to third base now with less than 2 outs. Takes congratulations from his teammate for that out.
Well, Sturtz, who has changed baseballs about 4 times this inning, gets a new one and rubs it up.
Well, it happens sometimes, Don. These cool days, you just don't get the good feel of the baseball. They all seem slippery, and maybe that's the problem that Tanyan Sturtz is having.
He's got a new one now, and he's got to deal with Manny Ramirez, who grounded into a double play his first time up. With Todd Walker standing at third base, and 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Red Sox now on top 2-0.
Infield in for the Blue Jays, not all the way in, but about 2 or 3 steps in, closer than double play depth.
Gentleman's rooting for a monster mash from Manny Ramirez. And up top that time for strike 2.
All the Red Sox in the lineup today. Manny with the most home runs against Sturtz of 5 career home runs.
Walker at third. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A 1-2. Top again. He misses, and it's even now a 2-2 to Manny. Takes a little walk.
Tried to climb the ladder that time with Manny. See if he chased that high fastball again.
The 2-2. Ramirez foul tips it, and it's held onto by Myers. Strike 3 and the first strikeout for Tanyan Sturtz.
Stayed upstairs with the fastball. Up and in. Ramirez just gets a piece of it, but Greg Myers able to hold on to the foul tip. Now the infield can drop back with the 2 outs and see if Millar can come out with a 2-out base hit.
Millar lined sharply to left field his first time up. That is at 563 with runners in scoring position. He leads the American League in that category. And he's got one at third, and Todd Walker here with 2 outs in the inning. Talking with Kevin Millar before the ball game, he's really fit into this clubhouse very well. Knew any of the Red Sox coming in. His stall is located right next to Trot Nixon's now in the clubhouse, and those two are very good friends going back to their minor league days. And it was a very easy and comfortable fit for Kevin Millar to come here to the Red Sox, despite spending his entire career over in the National League with the Marlins. The 2-1. That'll miss to Millar. 3-1. There's his friend waiting on deck, Trot Nixon, who doubled his first time up. Millar takes ball 4, and there's the second walk given up by Tanyan Sturtz. The Sox will have runners at the corners with Nixon coming up.
Right fielder, number 7, Trot Nixon.
Nixon doubled to right his first time up down towards the corner down there, and he has had very good success against Tanyan Sturtz, including a home run. Seems like all of the Red Sox had great success against any of the Tampa starters last year, whether it be Ryan Roop, Joe Kennedy, and list on and on and on, due to all the success the Red Sox had, including going 10-0 last season at Tropicana Field, never losing against Tampa Bay at their place. Sox third in the league coming into today's action at 283 as a club. Three teams better than Boston heading into today. The Yankees as a club collectively hitting at 302, and the Anaheim Angels at 289. The number you're not used to seeing is the Red Sox as low as they are on the pitching chart, however, at 4.86. Is the 12th in the American League in that category. And Nixon will take the strike. 2-1 now to Trot.
Tanyan Sturtz working at a very deliberate clip. Had a lot of guys on base. Derek Lowe is usually fast paced when he's on the mound.
Walker at third, Millar at first with 2 outs, and the 2-1 to Nixon. Popped up, that'll end up back above us and out of play. You been to England before?
No, never have. No,
haven't either. But we're there today, Jerry. There's Walker at third, Millar at first. Chance to add on to a 2-0 advantage for the Red Sox. Nixon thought about it. Did he go? No. This is Jim Joyce. And the payoff pitch on the ground and out of the reach of Carlos Delgado into right. Walker scores from third. Millar will try to score as well. Nixon still running, is headed for third. 2 more runs are in, and Nixon's at third. The Red Sox lead it 4-0. Quite a day for Trot Nixon.
Well, twice today pulling the ball. Again, we highlighted the numbers for Nixon against Sturts. Looked like a breaking ball down and in, and right down the line past the dive of Delgado. No fan interference, which is a break there for the Red Sox. That rolls all the way out toward the corner, and by the time that Catalanado can chase it down, 2 runs come across. If you get fan interference there, your second run may not score.
There's Bill Miller now, the 8th member of the Red Sox to bat in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A milestone of sorts there for Trot Nixon. RBIs 300 and 301. As he drives in a pair. It all started with Jason Varitek getting grazed by a pitch to begin the inning. He's a hit batsman, and since then a couple of doubles, a triple, a walk in the inning for Boston, and a 4-0 lead now. Bill Miller takes the strike. Missing away that time to Miller.
Montanian Sturts not nearly as shot today as he was in that last outing up in Toronto against the Red Sox.
65 pitches so far today, and has had to throw a lot here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Look out. He walks Miller. One gets away from the catcher Myers briefly, and the second walk of the inning and 3rd of the outing given up by Montanian Sturts.
Designated hitter, number 25, Jeremy Giambi.
Also bring out Gil Patterson, the pitching coach for the Jays.
No action right now out in the bullpen for Toronto. Just a meeting here to try to get Montanian Sturts back in focused.
Check in with Tom Caron. Tom.
Don, thanks very much. Children's opening day, kids opening day, and James Taylor did a wonderful rendition of the national anthem, and the weather was slightly better than the first time around last Saturday when you tried it.
Yeah, it was great today, Tom. Thanks.
You're from Boston, obviously a Bostonian, grew up here, and you know the connection between fans and the Red Sox.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
It's a fever, I think you referred to it before the game.
It's a powerful thing. You know, this is here in Fenway Park on a beautiful spring day like this. You feel like you're at the heart of the city, at the heart of New England, you know. So
here with your wife Kim, who we understand also has the fever, a big Red Sox fan, huh, Kim?
Big time, 25 years.
You got 4 runs here. You guys have been cheering. They've been whooping it up here.
We're doing our best for the team. Yeah.
Are there some similarities? The Sox go on the road Monday. You spend so much time going back on tour here. Are there some similarities between your life and their life? What you do, what they do?
Well, I imagine there are. I've never exactly, I've never traveled the way they travel, but I'm sure that it's largely the same thing. You spend a lot of time away from home. You're focused on a performance basically every day, and it's a very narrow, very focusing thing to sort of live with.
Well, they've been focused on this one, and it's been a good inning for them to watch. James, Kim, thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Tom. It's our pleasure.
All right, James Taylor going back on tour very soon, he says. Right now he's enjoying the ball game. Let's go back to you guys.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. Well, a legend here today, James Taylor. One of the all-time greats. A lot of the Red Sox were out of the dugout before the game when he was on the field today in his practice run of the national anthem. Runner first takes off. Giambi taking a ball, and this one will get away. Trying to score from third is Nixon. He'll get there with the 5th Boston run. 5-0 Red Sox.
Well, a gift run there by the Red Sox. I mean, they were not attempting the double steal. It was a straight-out steal by Miller, and then the throw will bounce, get by the infielder, and then all the way into center field. So that's when Nixon comes across to score. He was not breaking on the throw to second base.
Well, after the errant throw, he was breaking and scores the 5th Red Sox run. They've scored 5 of them in the inning, and the Red Sox on top 5-0. So quite a day for Trot Nixon so far. Giambi is the 9th member of the Red Sox to bat in the inning. In the air to left field. Back goes Shannon Stewart to the dirt of the track to bring it in and to retire the side. The Red Sox send 9 men to the plate and score 5 times off Tanyan Sturtz and the Jays. We play 3, 5-0 Boston.
People know little about the cancer that killed more Americans than AIDS and breast cancer combined last year. This simple self-exam can tell you if you're at risk. Stretch your 2 hands in front of you. Then bring them back around and place them on your lower back. Now slide your hands down. If you feel 2 large bumps, you're at risk.
Get screened for colorectal cancer. Caught early, it's over 90% curable.
Hi, I'm John Scherer, CEO and founder of Video Professor. Well, I'm the one that makes computer learning quick and easy with these CD-ROM lessons from Video Professor. I'm so confident that my product will work for you that I'm going to send you any one of our $60 lessons absolutely free. If you're serious about learning to run the computer once and for all, try my product.
To get your free computer learning CD, you must call now. Call 1-800-680-7980.
I'm Ronnie Deutsch. I have settled IRS tax bills for only $20. $20.
Ronnie was able to help us settle this debt for only $20.
Saved me $34,000.
Saved me $10,000.
When she says that she can settle this for pennies on the dollar, she absolutely means it.
If you wait, you can lose your chance to settle for $20.
Call the law offices of Ronnie Deutsch at 1-800-895-9922 for a free and confidential tax analysis. Call 1-800-895-9922.
Boston Red Sox baseball on Nesson is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Now serving your favorites even faster. Try a great tasting breakfast sandwich. It's just a thing when you're in a hurry. And by Jeep. Only in a Jeep. Top of the 4th inning. Josh Phelps to lead it off. Phelps, Hinsky, and Myers to face Derek Lowe had to sit a long time while the Red Sox were batting around, and the Red Sox come up with 5 runs to give Derek a 5-run lead in which to work with.
Now, the only thing better than having James Taylor on last inning would have James Taylor and TC sing a duet.
I could have done without that. James Taylor, as this is fouled off, was in Boston. I think I mentioned it earlier. The Orpheum 2 years ago with Mark Knopfler together. And he did something very recently with the Dixie Chicks as well, which was a special on VH1, I believe. He's going to be touring soon again. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, Tom Caron and James Taylor. Look, any particular song you'd like them to sing? You'd like to hear Tom?
Sweet Baby TC.
Center field with authority, back by the wall and up off the wall. The ricochet played quickly by Damon, who gets it in, but not in time. Josh Phelps with a wall ball double to begin things here in the 4th inning.
And Josh Phelps having a good day against Derek Lowe. A single in his first at bat. Now a double high off the wall. Low ball hitter. Got that slight uppercut swing and kind of works into his power when Derek Lowe throws that sinker to him. 4-game hitting streak now for Phelps.
Here's Erakinski, who singled his first time. Lowe has now given up 4 hits through 3+ innings. He's the American League Rookie of the Year. 24 home run output for Erakinski a year ago. Well, hits it to left. Ramirez on to make the catch. Below the cap high. Phelps back to the bag at second with 1 away. And it's time now for our Aflac trivia question.
The catcher.
Who holds the Red Sox record for most RBI in the month of April? I'll have the answer for you in the next half inning. I think he's a current member of the Red Sox, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. And I think it's in the 30s.
Here's Greg Myers, the catcher, walked his first time. Well, the Red Sox scored 5 times in the 3rd and started to develop a pattern here in the 3rd inning. It is the 3rd time this season that the Red Sox have scored 5 runs in an inning, and it's all been in the 3rd inning. April 3rd against Tampa, the 4th at Baltimore. Now April 19th against Toronto, all in the 3rd inning.
You might want to play that in your lottery ticket.
Josh Phelps, who doubled off the wall in left center field to begin the inning. And the strike. Myers disagrees, but is down 1-2. Veritek will head out and talk to Derek Lowe. They try to get on the same page. It's not often that Derek Lowe will shake off Jason Veritek. Lowe saying as part of his no-hitter last year, he never shook off Jason Veritek in the entire game. It was almost a year ago now, April 27th last season against Tampa Bay right here at Fenway. In the dirt, Veritek lunging to his right. Nicely done. 2-2. This is the 4th career start against the Blue Jays for Derek Lowe. Dropped an 8-4 decision on April 8th at Skydome in his first 2003 encounter with the Blue Jays. With 5 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings. Derek prefers to pitch against the Blue Jays here at Fenway Park. At Skydome, just 1-6 in his career against the Blue Jays in 20 games.
May have something to do with the artificial surface. The sinker ball pitches certainly don't like it.
Last year didn't seem to matter where Derek Lowe pitched. And second in the AL and wins. Zito had 23 of them. Oakland with a win yesterday after they went through kind of a tough stretch. I can imagine with their pitching staff going through any tough stretches. Payoff pitch. Well, it's fouled at the plate. Staying alive. A long at bat for Greg Myers.
It's hard to believe Oakland. They seem to get off to a slow start every season, and then they around the All-Star break they turn it on.
Even with a new manager, it's sort of the same thing.
Seattle leading that division right now. 10 wins and 7 losses. Oakland in second place.
And ball 4 to Myers. Really had to work for that walk. A lengthy at bat, and the second time he's walked today.
The shortstop, number 5, Chris Woodward.
So 2 on, 1 away for Toronto's shortstop Chris Woodward. Struck out looking his first time. That's ball 1. John Gibbons, the first base coach here for the Toronto Blue Jays. A friend of mine asked me before the ball game if we could send best wishes along to his grandmother, who is 90 today, Mary Boysen, who lives in Beverly, Massachusetts. Watches every game. John's a terrific guy who was with the Mets for a long time. At second, Myers at first. And too far inside to Chris Woodward.
Looks like the long inning may have had an effect on Derek Lowe. Struggling here in the top of the 4th inning.
I often wondered about starting the pitchers. That was fouled off back into the seats. A lot of them will go back up the runway into the clubhouse. I wonder if they watch their team bat, and if somebody tell them how many outs there are, how they stay aware.
My experience is most of them just keep moving around. You know, they might go up there to warm up a little bit, to walk around, not necessarily watch the game, get a jacket on, cover up the arm, maybe walk back into the dugout. You just don't want to sit on the couch and, you know, watch the game and get all stiff. And
chopped down the line, foul. Will Miller diving to be sure, but it's outside the line.
It's like a DH in a game. A DH will generally go up to the clubhouse at times. They may watch the game to watch the opposing pitcher, and I've seen guys ride bikes to stay loose, swing the bat. They'll have clubhouse guys throw them tape balls to take some swings, all kind of different things to try to stay loose in the game. I would think that'd be very difficult, DHing. You know, you just kind of shut it down, and you got to get it turned back up to get out there. But some guys are very good at it and get used to it.
Seemed like Manny Ramirez in the first half of his first season as a member of the Red Sox. He did it so well that had it down to a science that season. I would think, though, that you would be harping on only one part of your game all the time, and if it didn't go well, that it stuck with you until you had a chance to do it again. Where the field can be somewhat of... This is chopped to short. Omar as it gets through him into left. Josh Phelps will come around and score Toronto's first run. This played by Garcia Parra, and the inning continues. The Blue Jays have their first run of the day.
Well, you know, this has been kind of a strange ball game. Very slow paced, a lot of pitches being thrown, and a lot of times that'll get infielders and outfielders back on their heels. Nomar just never got the glove down to the ground on that particular ground ball. We'll see how high the glove is. It's not the back of it is not touching the dirt, and right through the 5-hole. And Omar, that is error number 3 on the young season.
First error today for the Red Sox. Blue Jays have one. And here's the number 9 hitter, Orlando Hudson. The other thing that kind of surprised me since starting here that I didn't realize, and there are different rules with every club, but I didn't realize how many of the relievers during the first few innings who are in the clubhouse. Not all the relievers. A lot of them go out to the bullpen, but some will actually stay in the clubhouse. I knew about the closers, but the other guys sometimes too. This is to left center field. Damon on the move, able to make the catch. That's out number 2. Myers back to second. Woodward to first with 2 outs in the inning.
A lot of time managers will tell the pitchers or pitching coach, you know, what role you're going to have in this game. And of course, if there's a long guy, he got to get out there early just in case something goes wrong. There's some great stories about closers. I mean, Lee Smith was you'd have to wake him up. He'd be dead asleep in that clubhouse, and you know, around the 7th or 6th they start to shake him and wake him up. He'd get dressed and then make his way out to the bullpen for those final couple of innings.
I heard he could sleep anywhere.
Oh man,
no matter where. There's Shannon Stewart, who sends it through the right side for a base hit. They're going to try and score another run. Here comes Myers. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. Toronto plates their second run. It's 5-2 Boston. An RBI single for Shannon Stewart.
Now the throw from Trot Nixon is just going to be far enough up that first base line. When Veritek makes the play, he's going to dive back toward home plate. And can't quite get the tag on in time. Just far enough away from the plate to allow that run to come in and score, Greg Myers. So a shaky inning here for Derek Lowe. Maybe that time between innings did have an effect on him.
Derek off the backside of the mound in the midst of a meeting with himself. There's Frank Catalanato, 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and to second. And another dance out of the way of that. I guess Sugi Urbina had somewhat of a similar pregame thing or during game thing where he would sleep also. We'd have to wake him up about the 6th inning. That's in there for a strike. But this year a little bit different, I think, for the trainers who often would stretch guys while the game was going on. Now, with the role sort of undefined, bullpen by committee, they could have everybody ready right out of the gate. And as a result, everybody's in the bullpen to start the game. This is in the left for a base hit for Catalanato. Everybody will move up a base. Woodward to third. Stewart to second. A single for Catalanato. And the base is loaded for Toronto.
Catalanato's had a good series. He had 3 hits last night, 3 for 4. Now picks up the base hit. Manny playing shallow in left field, and the ball was hit so hard they had no chance to try to score the base runner.
Bruce Gregson out to talk to Derek Lowe, who has had to face 7 Toronto hitters here in the 4th inning. Well, Toronto is actually out hitting Boston 6-5. Get a deal with the heart of the Toronto order. Vernon Wells 1 for 2 today with an infield hit. Grand slam off Ramiro Mendoza in Toronto. You might remember the first hitter that Mendoza faced after coming into the game, and Wells hit a grand slam which changed the complexion of that game. The first of Vernon Wells' career, on his 5th season with the Toronto Blue Jays. Lowe is at 80 pitches in his outing right now as he gets deep into that pitch count.
Only 95 in his last outing against Baltimore in 7 innings.
We've gone 3 2/3 so far today. He gets the strike over to Vernon Wells. Woodward at third, Stewart at second, Catalanato at first. 2 down, and Lowe with the 1-2. in the air to center field. Damon heading straight back and will get there. Having to run onto the track to get there. He gets the job done, and the Jays leave him loaded. They do get 2 in the inning. On to the bottom of the 4th, 5-2 Boston. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox have a 5-2 lead. It's been quite a day for Trot Nixon. He doubled in the 2nd, then up in the 3rd. Out of the reach of Carlos Delgado. Bangs around down in the corner. 2 come in for the Red Sox on the triple by Trot Nixon. And as a result, Red Sox on top 5-2. Toronto gets 2 back in the 4th inning. Todd Walker a double and 2 runs batted in. Johnny Damon a double and a run. Daniel Sturridge 5 runs, only 4 are earned, and Lowe has yet to give up an earned run due to the Nomar error. Jason Varitek, first pitch swinging. Shannon Stewart moving over, and can he make the catch? No, and it's a fair ball. Varitek will head for second base and get there. Wow. Stewart pointing to something over there. The glove.
He's pointing. It's a foul ball, but the fact is the ball was in fair territory when he got the glove on it that knocked it into foul territory. Always tough down that left field line for left fielders here at Fenway. You can see here clearly that ball's in fair territory, and then when it comes out of the glove, obviously it bounces foul, but that is considered a fair ball.
He looked as if he was in trouble right out of the gate as he moved over, and it kept bending towards the stands. Dropped down by Damon, but foul. And they charged to it with an error in left field, so a 2-base error. Had a long way to go. But it did hit him in the heel of the glove. The second miscue today for the Jays. Damon's been on twice today, a walk and a double, and a .429 batting average against Tanyan Sturtz. Up and in to Johnny Damon. Line foul down towards Canvas Alley. Red Sox sending 9 men to the plate in the 3rd inning, scoring 5 times. And the leadoff man here at second base. 1-2 is grounded outside of first and foul. Nicely played down there. I think that vantage point down there is a little easier than on the other side.
A little more reaction time.
We're a fair distance from home plate down there. Time to make the play down the left field side is a whole different ball game. The boxes jet out. Two and two now to Damon. Now that is a good looking lid. On the ground and diving is Delgado. He'll need some help and gets it from Tanyan Sturtz. On to third goes Varitek. Nice diving play from Carlos Delgado.
Well, Delgado has done this a number of times against the Red Sox this season. He did it to him a few times up in that series in Toronto, and now takes a base hit away from Johnny Damon.
Number 12, Todd.
And saves his club a run, at least for the time being. Tanyan Sturtz makes that tag of first, immediately picks up the runner at third base to make sure he's not trying to score. Catch, stop, and take a peek at the man at third.
With the runner at third and one down, Toronto brings their infield in all the way around. Todd Walker's 2 for 2, and lifts this in the air to right. Adelanado moving in. Varitek looks as if he is tagging. He is. Nope, bluffed halfway down the line, and he'll return. wise move, and a good throw from Catalinato ended up being in relatively shallow right field after making the catch.
Yeah, even though you know you're not going to tag and score, give a good bluff over there so you do draw the throw, and maybe that throw will be an errant one and get by the catcher. Not that time. A perfect throw by Catalinato.
Yeah, that's something that will go in the back of Mike Cubbage's mind as well, who keeps track of all the throwing arms of all the outfielders in the American League, because he has to. We always look at Mike, who is feeling much better after his scare at Fenway a week ago. Said that it's really educated him after having the seizure, so many things that he didn't even realize, and how close he came other times to having seizures. But Mike's doing well. We're glad to see him back in the third base coach's box. There's the 0-1 to Nomar. 1-1. Nomar's 0 for 2 today, grounding out and lining out. In the dirt, nicely held onto by Greg Myers, with Varitek only 90 feet away.
It's interesting when you watch Nomar. He very seldom steps out of the box when the pitcher, even if he delays when he gets in his set position and takes a long time to throw the ball. Nomar very seldom will he call time and get out of there.
He's the anti-Manny Ramirez, who always goes out of the box.
You just keep those feet tapping.
Facing the press box. It's time now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Who holds the Red Sox record for most RBI in the month of April? Manny Ramirez, 31 in his first season in a Red Sox uniform. That's when he was only the DH. It's been a fine start for Shea Hillenbrand to the season of that category as Omar sends it foul.
You tell players that catch the ball with two hands, and those folks up in the roof box are going to have to learn the same thing. Tried to one-hand it and lost it.
Shea Hillenbrand with 20 RBIs on this April the 19th with the day off. In the dirt now, full count to Nomar. Coming back, but he'll run out of room. 4 rows deep and out of his reach. Have you been out to the new seats yet?
No, not yet. No.
Maybe August.
We'll see.
Actually, I'm told that we may be doing open tomorrow night from out there. You know, we come on and say,
where?
Out there.
How's that possible? How are we going to get back here to do the game?
I don't know. But it has been rumored, also rumored that we may do a game up there, a la Harry Carey style. I think I'm going to take my shirt off, like Harry did. This one will get a piece of Nomar. At least Nomar thought so. The umpire doesn't think so, and Nomar can't believe it. Here comes Grady.
Looked like it got the back elbow of Garciaparra. I think that was anywhere near the bat.
No, nowhere close. So Dale Scott talking things over with Grady Little. Not an animated conversation at all. Check at third with 2 down. A chance here for Nomar to add to the Boston lead. And he stays alive, fouling it off. Yeah, back in the day, Harry Carey'd sit in the bleachers without a shirt on and do the game from out there. I think you should think about that maybe when we get out there, I don't know, in June sometime when it warms up.
Nice and comfortable right here where we are.
Ball 4 to Garciaparra. The 4th walk given up by Tanyan Sturtz. Now he's got to deal with Ramirez.
Number 24, Manny Ramirez.
And he's 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play and has struck out today. In fact, it is the only strikeout for Tanyan Sturtz on the afternoon. Quick check on Nomar. Is able to duck back to the bag. He had gone through a 4-game skid of 1 for 17. Now 4 for his last 12. Another check on Nomar. Can't imagine he'd be going anywhere with Manny at the plate. And Sturtz most concerned with him over at first. From Ramirez. 92 miles per hour that time from Tanyan Sturtz. Yeah, he dating back to last year at one point had a 22-game hitting streak that came to an end on April 10th at Sky Dome against these Toronto Blue Jays. You know, looking for his first hit here today in the afternoon. Look out. And no question, Manny got hit that time, and he looks out at Tanyan Sturtz. The umpire's going to walk alongside for good measure. Manny seems very disturbed and now will point out towards the pitcher. Manny now making his way towards the pitcher. And the dugouts will empty as Ramirez felt it was intentional. Very rarely do you see that kind of emotion from Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, that is very, very unusual for Manny. Now, we talked about the numbers earlier. 355 coming into the game with 5 career home runs against Sturtz. But today, 0 for 2, a ground ball double play and a strikeout. And I really don't think anything intentional there by Sturtz to load the bases. But Manny certainly took exception.
He became more angry with every step down the line. Trying to think of any kind of history between these two, and I can't think of any that comes to mind right away.
Well, a lot of history, obviously, between the Red Sox and Devil Rays. How much of Tanyan Sturtz was involved in that, I'm not quite clear, but that is very, very unusual for Ramirez.
You remember Ryan Roop's participation in that area, and others, as wisely here, cooler heads have prevailed, and back to the dugouts they go, and back to the bullpens they go.
Here's the fastball inside to Ramirez and gets him right off the elbow and just trying to come inside on Manny. Manny peeks out. Sturtz apparently peeks in. Manny says something. And a little warning by Manny, and then he tried to get out there.
So now we'll have to wait and see if there's any retaliation later, as Tanyan Sturtz now deals with Millar, and Certainly didn't want to do this. Now the bases are loaded. Red Sox at third, Garcia Parr at second, Ramirez at first. And strike one to Kevin Millar. Millar is lined to left and walked and scored a run today. Toronto has action in their bullpen for the first time today. They've got a left-hander up. And Sturtz ready with his 71st pitch. Millar sends it to right. Catalanato has it sized up and makes the catch to retire the side. So that does it in the inning. The Red Sox leave them loaded. They played 4 from Fenway, 5-2 Boston. Your New England Toyota dealers, get the feeling. And by Citizens Bank, not your typical bank. Well, the home plate umpire Dale Scott has just gone out to talk to Derek Lowe, probably letting him know that it didn't look like an official warning by any means, but he's saying something to him in terms of retaliation. Here you do have their star, Carlos Delgado, coming up. You also have Derek Lowe, who's probably likely trying to get through at least the 5th inning here with a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, what Derek Lowe would like to have here is about a 10-pitch inning.
Nice and snappy as he faces Delgado, who has struck out twice in the ball game today. And sends it with the shift on to Walker at second. 1 down.
Well, get the Globe's award-winning sports coverage every day. Call 1-800-9845-335 for 50% off home delivery. The Boston Globe, your world unfolding daily. No music today.
I guess no music. Josh Phelps 2 for 2, a single and a double. The big shift on for Carlos Delgado. This is a different looking defensive alignment. Todd Walker straight up the middle, just to the right of second base and on the outfield grass. That's a little different. It's 2-1 now to Josh Phelps. He's had a good day today against Derek Lowe. Only member of the Blue Jays to have more than 1 hit. Phelps with 2 coming to this at bat. And it evens up now at 2-2. Blue Jays are 6-11 to begin the season. Games with New York on this trip, 4 here in Boston. Then it's to Tampa Bay for 3. And there's strike 3 to Josh Phelps, the 5th strikeout for Derek Lowe. 2 down.
It's at that same location a couple of times against right-handers today. He got Woodward on that same fastball back in the 2nd inning, and now the exact same pitch here to Phelps. So far, Lowe has a low pitch inning.
Kinski 1 for 2. He singled in the 2nd inning and lined to left in the 4th. Stays away from Hinski. Making its way around Fenway Park. Hinski sends it off the left side and foul. A lot of guys who have not had the same type of sophomore season after winning Rookie of the Year. Ben Grieve is a guy that comes to mind. I mentioned Bob Hamlin earlier in the year as a guy that never Had the same kind of career after that first season with the Royals when he was Rookie of the Year in the early 90s. And a tough beginning to this season for Hinsky, coming in at 190 so far this year. 18 games for Toronto. Lines this into right field for a base hit. Derek Lowe upset with himself after that one, walking off the mound, and frustrated. A 2-out single for Eric Hinsky.
Looked like the cut fastball that time from Derek Lowe, and it just hung right out over the plate. And that becomes a pretty good pitch to hit. And I think that's what frustrated Derek Lowe. Didn't hit his spot. So no 1-2-3 inning.
Wind shifts and blows inward as Greg Myers stands in. He's walked twice today. The only walks given up by Derek Lowe, both to Greg Myers. Up and away, and Lowe missing again. 2-0.
It's one of those games right here where, you know, it's a battle with Veritek and Derek Lowe. You can tell by Lowe's actions on the mound just how he feels, how good he feels, how bad he feels. And Veritek is the guy that's always responsible to get out there, shake him up a little when he has to.
A good amount of give and take on both ends of that relationship from time to time. Veritek not afraid to air out Derek Lowe on occasion. And those two, of course, knowing each other very, very well, coming over from the Mariners together in the great Heathcliff Slocum deal. Dan Duquette's best. All 4, not 4 pitches. He loses Greg Myers. And this will include a conversation between Veritek and Lowe.
Lowe just wants the baseball. I don't think he wants to hear from Veritek, but he's got to. This has been a real struggle for him this afternoon.
Well, Derek Lowe now has 3 walks that he has given up today, and all are Greg Myers, oddly enough. And Mike Timlin up in the Boston bullpen, the first action that we've seen out there, as Lowe now has just gone up over the 100 pitch mark today, 4 2/3 deep.
Shortstop.
Goose Gregson's made a couple of trips out to the mound today. Tony Cloninger probably watching from the clubhouse.
And last check sounded like Tony was going to make the trip with the club to Texas and Anaheim, which is a great sight. Here's Chris Woodward, 0 for 2 out after the first pitch. Inside this time, 1-1 to Woodward. Blue Jays got their runs in the 4th inning, 2 runs off Derek. Lowe has struck out 5 today and scattered 7 hits. Line right to Walker on the backhand, able to take care of it in the air for the final out in the top of the 5th inning. Halfway through this one from Fenway, Boston on top 5-2. Back at Fenway, 5-2. Red Sox on top. Time now for the Heineken What's on Tap. Red Sox and Jays continue their series tomorrow. 1:30 start time on NESN. Monday, the Patriots Day game. Our coverage begins at 10:30. Then it's off to Arlington, Texas. Tuesday and Wednesday at 7:30. Thursday, a day game on Getaway Day from Texas. Red Sox will be traveling west to Anaheim after that. First West Coast trip of the year for the Red Sox. Here's Trot Nixon to begin things in the bottom of the 5th inning, facing Tanyan Sturtz, still out there.
Now Monday's going to be tough. 11 o'clock start. That means our production meeting would be at 4:45 a.m.
in the morning.
But that's okay.
So you want to meet for breakfast, say 3:15?
No, we have breakfast at the meeting.
Right. It is an early day, but that also means an early arrival in Texas. Which this year the schedule makers helped us out. The last couple years, the Red Sox have gone to Anaheim to begin this similar trip, and then gone from Anaheim to Texas, which is always the
that's brutal
middle of the night arrival or mid-morning arrival.
Yeah, you play the night game in Anaheim, and you know, you probably take off from the airport there 12:30, somewhere in that area. So that's already 2:30 in Texas. You got a good 3-hour flight, and the USA Today is right outside your door when you check in.
Already behind the 8 ball when you leave Anaheim. I will say that that is the toughest trip of the year, but the schedule makers are with us this year. Nixon goes to left with it, and may be retired, and is retired for the first time today. 1 down.
Last night, Don, Wally spent his first night in the left field wall in quite some time. He was in Iraq, as you know, and not happy when he got back to Fenway, and he was looking at those seats and said, you know, I got people on the roof of my house. What's going on? But he found out they made a lot of improvements to his home out there, so he had a very comfortable night.
He's okay with it then?
He is. He is. He had his last jog today, preparing for the marathon on Monday. You know, last hard workout.
He's running. I didn't know that.
Tomorrow will be all carbohydrates for him.
Looks like he's lost some weight while he was away in Iraq.
Yeah, tough over there.
Shed some lbs, but he's looking a little less green than he was when he first arrived back.
Brought a nice come from behind win last night for him, so pretty happy about things right now.
Fouled off by Miller, and it's 1-2. You and Wally have a very good relationship. You guys have a little give and take back and forth.
It's been good, and it's been bad at times.
Long periods of not talking to each other, I noticed.
He actually ran into Peter Arnett when he was embedded with the troops over there.
Was he employed at the time, or?
This was right after the firing, and Wally not a big fan of Peter.
Does he like Geraldo, Wally?
Oh, he loves Geraldo.
Strike 3 to Miller. He'll take with him just the second strikeout of the day for Tanyon Sturtz, and there's 2 down.
Designated hitter.
Now, just like Derek Lowe in the top of the 5th, a couple of quick outs. Then it took Lowe a couple of batters to get that final out. Sturtz with the first couple of outs of this inning. Still action down in that Red Sox bullpen. That may be the afternoon for Derek Lowe. It has been a struggle for him.
He was up over 100 through the first 5 innings. Mike Timlin out in the bullpen. He has shed that shirt that he was wearing underneath his jersey to begin the season. Got the red underneath there today. Giambi carves it foul. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy with you from Fenway Park. Our producer is Patrick Cavanaugh, director Mike Naracci, associate producer Greg Petranzio, and Paul Carroll doing the statistics. Adam Jupiter assisting us in the booth. And we thank you for joining us on Kids Opening Day at Fenway Park. Red Sox on top 5-2 is Worcester native Tanyon Sturtz working for the Toronto Blue Jays on a chilly afternoon. The 1-2 to Giambi. Evens up at 2-2. Giambi calls time and spins out of the box. Full count. Giambi, very patient hitter will walk a great deal. One of the reasons that the Red Sox went and got Giambi was because of his on-base percentage, and a lot of that comes from the base on balls that he ends up getting. He fouls this one off the left side. Giambi so far this season with 8 walks. Only Trot Nixon has more. Trot with 9 so far this season. And then a walk here for Giambi. So he's aboard with 2 outs in the inning. It's the 5th walk given up by Tanyan Sturtz.
The catcher, number 33, Jason Varitek.
2 down, and it brings up Jason Varitek, who has been on base twice today despite not having a hit. He's hit by a pitch in the 3rd and reached on a 2-base error in the 4th. And after the first one from Tanyan Sturtz. Sturtz, who in his first 2 starts, both victories, have made him 2-0. Got 17 runs. That's a run support. Today he's not had the same, only 2 runs so far. Seems like a lot of runs for the Blue Jays. They did it against good teams, the Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins. Something that he was certainly not used to having as a member of the starting staff for Tampa Bay. One now to Varitek. Let's go back to 2001 for the last season, which Tanyan Sturtz would probably call a good one for him. He was the leader in starts for Tampa Bay that season with 27. Led in innings just shy of 200 at 195 1/3, and his 11 wins were the 2nd most in the Devil Rays franchise history. Orlando Arrojo had 14 wins for them back in 1998. That's the most the Devil Rays ever had. Varitek sends the 2-1 foul.
What happened to Orlando Arrojo? Is he hooked on with anybody at all?
I don't know.
I don't recall seeing anybody pick him up.
How about Frank Castillo? There's a name I've not seen pop back up again.
Frank Castillo, yeah. I haven't seen his name either. Oh, I was told that Paul Carroll tells me that Rojo was released by the Pirates right at the end of spring training. I remember that. But yeah, Frank Castillo did not land a job.
That surprises me. 2-2 is popped up down the 3rd base line and foul. That'll get back into the seats. It seemed like this offseason, as part of the labor agreement last year, was a very tough year for fringe type players, or guys that maybe are not stars. Case in point, Brian Daubach was a guy who has 4 years of 20+ home runs and has to sign a minor league deal at the last minute with the Chicago White Sox. Seems like the landscape has definitely changed, and you wonder if it'll come around again. Seems like the all-star players will always get paid, but it's the other guys that I think are really affected now. Varitek lines it into right field for a base hit. Up to second base goes Giambi, and the Red Sox trying to get something done with 2 outs. They've got 2 on.
Well, there is left-handed action out in the bullpen. We'll see if that's the afternoon for Tanyan Sturtz. It looks like Carlos Tosca making his way out to the mound, and he wants the lefty.
So Sturtz goes 4 2/3 innings, and will leave responsible for the 2 men on. So he gets the bad news from Carlos Tosca and leaves. So a pitching change from Fenway Park in the midst of the bottom of the 5th. 5-2 Red Sox.
Red Sox have the 5-2 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. Wednesday night, following our postgame show, stay tuned for the Boston Globe Sports Plus, hosted by Bob Lobel and featuring an exclusive interview with Patriots coach Bill Belichick. Plus a whole lot more Wednesday night after the postgame show on NESN.
What's that on?
From Maine, the lovely state of Maine.
Well, Tanyon Sturtz went 4 2/3 innings, and he turns things over to the left-hander, another former Tampa Bay Devil Ray, Doug Creek.
Doug Creek making his 11th appearance of the season. He's worked a total of 5 innings, allowing 4 hits and 4 earned runs, 5 walks and a couple of strikeouts. Opponents hitting .235 off Doug Creek. Had 2 left-handers out in that bullpen. Miller worked in the game last night, and Creek, the remaining left-hander in the bullpen for the Devil Rays. Red Sox, of course, only with 1 lefty, Kevin Tolar, who's done a very nice job since being called up from Pawtucket.
Tanyon Sturtz leaves after 4 2/3, 6 hits, still responsible for the 2 men on, Giambi and Veritek. He walked 5 and struck out 2. There's Doug Creek out of Georgia Tech University, 34-year-old veteran left-hander. Johnny Damon 1 for 2 with a walk and a double today. Doug Creek has been in the major leagues, first with the St. Louis Cardinals in '95, then with the Cardinals, the Giants, the Cubs, the Devil Rays, and the Mariners before coming here to Toronto. On the ground, Delgado has a jump up off him and into right field. Giambi will come around and score. Veritek is also going to try it. As heading for third is Damon. The throw not nearly in time. Johnny stands at third. 2 more Boston runs, and the Red Sox lead it 7-2.
Well, of all the great plays that Delgado has made against the Red Sox down at first base, he lets this one get by him, and it turns into a couple of runs. Looked like that ball bat hopped him right at the end, just came right up on top of the glove and all the way down in the corner. How do they rule that, Don? Is that a triple for Johnny, or?
They have not yet. They're going to charge him with an error, Jerry.
Oh, an error all the way.
Error all the way. No RBIs. Error all the way. So E3, third miscue of the day for the Jays. And the runs will go on Tanyon Sturtz's line. 4 2/3 ends up giving up 7. And certainly not all of those are earned, but trying to continue his string, coming in at 2-0. Walker sends it foul off the left side. Mike Timlin just looking on from the Boston pen. He's done plenty of warming up and likely will be in the top of the 6th inning. After Derek Lowe has worked the first 5. Walker has a couple of hits today, a single, a double, and he's driven in 2 runs. And it's 3-1 to Todd Walker.
Big breaking curve that time from Creek. He's had in the last 2 Walker kind of flinching out of the way.
Count to Todd Walker. All teams that Doug Creek spent time with, and there are a few. Veteran left-hander spending most of his career with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. 3 seasons with Tampa Bay, and it's 66 appearances out of the Tampa Bay bullpen in 2001. Spent some time over in Japan as well. On the line in left, Shannon Stewart moving into the corner. And a foul ball. One of the seats out of his reach.
Fans telling Shannon Stewart how he made that play.
Johnny Damon at third. A full count to Todd Walker with 2 outs and 2 runs already in here in the last of the 5th inning. And then ball 4 to Todd Walker. This is the 6th walk today from Tampa Bay pitching. The first for Doug Creek, and that'll bring Carlos Costa out in the bullpen again. So he was brought in to face the lefties, and things did not go well in that regard. And now he is going to go to the bullpen once again as Doug Creek's outing comes to an abrupt end. Two runs in here in the bottom of the 5th inning for Boston, still batting. Pitching change from Fenway, 7-2 Boston.
Well, some of the Boston Bruins enjoying the game here today from Fenway Park, watching the Red Sox with a 7-2 lead. Well, don't forget to order your subscription to Red Sox Magazine, the official Red Sox magazine. Receive all 7 editions of this expanded magazine, including the spring training issue, Why Supplies Last. For details and ordering information, please send an email to soxpubs@redsox.com.
Well, after a very difficult outing last night and the death of his T-shirt, Jeff Tam comes into the game and right back on the horse again today after a difficult outing last night.
Well, probably the best way to do it. Get him right back into a game. He'll be making his 10th outing of the season. And you mentioned last night, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 3 earned runs, and 4 walks for Jeff Tam. Just had all kind of trouble finding the strike zone. And you hate to sit on a performance like that for a long time. So I'm sure he's pretty happy he's back in the game today.
32 years of age from Melbourne, Florida. And up through the Mets organization. Spent time with the Mets, Cleveland Indians, the Mets again, Oakland. A lot of outings with the Oakland A's over the last few years. It's 72 in 2000, 70 outings in 2001, and now with Toronto. A lot of those former A's have made their way over with J.P. Ricciardi here to Toronto. Here's Nomar. Laced foul back into the seats. Look out. It looks like everybody's all right. Get back there in a hurry. Tam out of Florida State University, where at one time he was the roommate of former Red Sox pitcher John Wasden. Foul back. Troop's got another chance, I think. No. A new statistician able to make the grab there between Joe and Troop.
On one bounce, I might add.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That Booth has been the hot.
Look at Joe. Did you see Joe?
Yeah.
Tell him to calm down and how, you know.
Well, I don't know. Oh, it is on the bounce.
Yeah, hit him in the kitchen, then bounce right down on the floor. Look at Joe explaining how to make the play and calm down and soft hands.
Coach Castiglione, who has never caught one, I don't think, in the 20 seasons behind the mic. Troopy caught one earlier in this homestand.
Yep.
Very nice catch.
That's the man that should be telling him how to make the play.
Troop's still getting used to the headset mic that he has moved to. Long-time stick mic user. That's a big thing if you're an announcer, you know, to make that kind of transition. The Troop's the kind of guy that can get that done. Listening to Nomar. It'd be like you going down to the stick mic from the headset after all these years.
I've done that a few times.
Have you?
Yeah, I did it a couple of games in Texas one year. Something happened. I don't know what it was, and we had to do the game. It wasn't bad.
You have to stay there, though. You can't, like, I'm all...
No, we had one of those, you know, like you're singing in a club, you could move it around and stuff.
Oh, you
get up and walk around.
Lounge Lizard, Jerry Ray. The 2-2. Line to left, Shannon Stewart heading back, and he leaps to make the catch onto the warning track to rob Nomar of a hit, and The Red Sox are retired in the 5th. They do get 2 in the 5th, and we played 5 from Fenway. 7-2 Boston.
Back at Fenway, the Red Sox have the 7-2 lead after 5 innings. We'll stay tuned after the game for the W.B. Mason Extra Innings, New England's Red Sox post-game show with extra highlights, extra interviews, and extra analysis, hosted by Bob Rogers and a new lineup of studio analysts. After the last inning, the action is just beginning, and Johnny Damon is scheduled to be in the house for the W.B. Mason Extra Innings show.
Red Sox have a new pitcher. Called up from the Pawtucket Red Sox, Jason Shield into the game.
4 innings down at Pawtucket, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. We had a chance to see him in spring training. He was claimed off waivers from the San Diego Padre organization. His 9th pro season, made his major league debut a year ago with the Padres in 3 September outings. Red Sox claiming him off waivers, and he threw the ball pretty well in spring training. Fastball, good slider.
Takes over for Derek Lowe, who went the first 5 innings, throwing 117 pitches. 7 hits, 2 runs. Neither of the runs were earned runs. Derek walked 3, struck out 5, and due to the fact that he did go 5, makes himself eligible for the victory if the Red Sox bullpen can help him out with a 5-run lead.
I can just see Derek's quotes in the paper tomorrow. I had to really work hard in this one. One of those days. A workman-like performance. Wakefield said the same thing last night. He said it was awful tough in that cold weather to be able to throw that knuckleball and get any kind of control with it.
Here's Orlando Hudson, number 9 hitter for Toronto, leads off here in the 6th. This is the 4th career appearance now for Jason Shield. 3 appearances, as Jerry mentioned, with San Diego, and that was his first go-around in the major leagues. Grounded back at him, able to glove it to Millar for the first out of the inning. Let's check in with Tom Karen. Tom?
Don, thanks very much. Here with not your typical fan today, Will Ferrell. Old school recently out, formerly Saturday Night Live. You a big baseball fan?
I am, and it's only my 2nd time here at Fenway, so we're excited to be here. Yeah.
Pretty old ballpark here as far as the history goes. Doesn't get much better.
What is it, about? It's about 10 years old?
Yeah, yeah, they put a new renovation on it. Now, wait, you're here this weekend because you're actually running the Boston Marathon Monday.
Running on Monday, and so this is my pre-race regimen.
You've run a couple marathons, but not Boston. Has the terror started to strike yet?
Slowly. I'm not able to sleep at night, and but I'm carbo loading today with beer and peanuts. Yeah.
Perfect place for it.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I'm excited. It's supposed to be an amazing event, and hopefully I'll complete it.
Well, I hope you finish it in a shorter time than this ball game is taking to play today. Will, thanks.
Thank you.
Will Ferrell, not your typical fan. Guys, back upstairs.
How about that? Tom Karen made Will Ferrell laugh. He laughed at Tom Karen's joke. Very talented guy. Saturday Night Live. He does a lot of good stuff. His George Bush stuff is outstanding.
I like the one where he's the cheerleader.
I love that. I love Saturday Night Live. Got a few lean years there in between the great years.
Well, you weren't even born in the golden years of Saturday Night Live.
I was alive. Belushi and Chevy Chase and Eddie Murphy coming through. I was born in the 80s?
What?
I was born in 68. That was still a very long time
was that in the
ago.
80s?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, late 70s, early 80s was in that one. In the air to center field, Johnny Damon looking up into the high sky. 2 down.
The right fielder, number 27, Frank Catalanato.
Turns out Frank Catalanato is 1 for 3. A single in the 4th inning. I think I said Lowe threw 117 pitches. I gave you bad information. The 104 pitches, 60 strikes for Derek Lowe. Don't want to be handing out wrong information. In the the dirt, and it's 1-1 to Catalinato. Jason Shield making his Red Sox debut after fine spring training. Originally signed by the Braves, scout who's now with the Red Sox. Rob English now scouts for the Boston Red Sox. Part of the deal that involved Ryan Klesko when he went to San Diego. Kilby Overis, Wally Joyner, and Reggie Sanders back in 1999. It was originally a 48th round pick, so this is a good story as he gets to the big leagues. The Atlanta Braves. Was drafted in 1995. Sounds like a broken bat looper that ends up a fair ball down the right field line. Nixon over to play it. A fan grabbed it, so to second base goes Frank Catalinato with 2 outs and ruins the perfect inning for Jason Shield.
Have we had a perfect inning? Yes. Back in the first inning, Derek Lowe had a 1-2-3 inning.
Number 10.
You're right. It did sound like a broken bat, but Catalinato keeps it in fair territory. The big bounce up into the stands for the ground rule double.
And that 1-2-3 first is the only 1-2-3 inning for either side. As there have been plenty of base runners today, Toronto so far has stranded, come on Don, quick fly on the mat, 9 bases, runners on base so far. And this will bring up Vernon Wells.
I wonder what the folks in England think today watching this game, if the pace is very much like cricket.
I'd like for somebody in England to somehow make some sort of correspondence to us, just to let us know that they are indeed watching Red Sox baseball today.
I'm sure I'll get an email tonight on the RemyReport.com. I will get an email from England. I promise you that.
Okay.
I've had them from all over the world. Nothing from Iraq, but
see, now that surprises me. I figured there'd be a few Red Sox fans there as well. We understand that we've had some correspondence from Scotland who have written in already today to say that they are enjoying the game. MLB's international package apparently today. That's what we're on.
Pros in England, you know, they can order the scorecard of this game today.
I knew that was coming. That's the RemyReport.com for all of you.
What a souvenir to have.
That's terrific. 1-2 fouled off. I think I need to come up with something, Jerry, just to have something that I can. But I think I need a website. I'm thinking about this a little bit. I don't know what I'd put on my website or why anyone would even want to go to my website.
That would be the question, Don. I think we don't want to overload the, you know, computer world with too many websites.
Announcers with websites.
I can see those orders flying in from England now.
Is the T-shirt available yet? Or
not yet. A couple of weeks.
Coming. It's an exciting announcement. Going to have a press conference.
Yeah.
Announce the releasing of the Rem Dog T-shirts. Wells strikes out. First strikeout for Jason Shield. An impressive first outing for him in a Red Sox uniform. Played 5.5 from Fenway. 7-2 Red Sox. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway for the bottom of the 6th inning.
Oh my God. Isn't that Jeannie?
I think so. It's not the first time I've seen you dressed in that either. Here's Manny Ramirez. He was hit by a pitch and was miffed by the fact that he was hit by a pitch. Got an exchange of words with Tanyan Sturtz, and then the bullpens and dugouts empty, but nothing came of that. Only looking for his first hit today. Tam having a better outing today already than what he had last night at the final out of last inning. And this Rices with the 1-1. Red Sox scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning off the Toronto starter Tanyan Sturtz. Then they get 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Sturtz responsible for all 7 runs. 4 were earned runs. There goes opposite field with this, and a base hit to right for Manny Ramirez. His first hit of the day and his 7th hit for the Red Sox.
And first hit of the series. Manny was 0 for 3 in game 1 last night. Opposite field. Good job there. Keeps his head right on the ball. Almost sees contact with that bat. Opposite field line drive.
You see the shadows creeping now over the home plate area. And as the day moves along, and here is Kevin Millar, 0 for 2 today with a walk. He's also scored a run. But after the first pitch from Jeff Tam. How hard is that? It seems like the ball would change colors on the way in.
It's tough. Not quite so bad where it is right now. Once it gets out about halfway between the pitcher and the hitter, then it becomes very, very difficult. In postseason play, you see so many of these crazy starting times because of television. 5 o'clock starts, twilight. Awful tough in the first couple of innings. Plus now we're going to be playing 2 o'clock starts on Sunday here at Fenway. Back in the old days, we played some of those 2 o'clock starts, and the shadows tend to creep in, you know, about the middle of the game. Not easy. Kevin Millar, they want a long ball out there. Those guys have been standing the whole game.
Millar looking for his first hit today. 14-game hitting streak coming in. He grounds it outside and 3rd. Foul. That's Lee Tinsley's 14-game hitting streak to start 1995. Looking to equal Tony Peña's 15-game hitting streak to start 1990, and Jim Rice's 15-gamer to begin 1989.
How about Tony Peña? Kansas City. 12-3 to start the season. It's really the story in baseball.
No question. I think if somebody told you they were going to be 12-3 after 15 to begin the year, you probably would not have agreed with that. Chopped down the 3rd base line and foul.
Let's see. We will see Kansas City, I believe, on the next homestand. I think it's Kansas City and Minnesota, and then we go back to Kansas City and Minnesota. Is that correct, Don?
That is correct, Jerry. Kansas City first Tuesday, April 29th through the 1st of May, and then Minnesota Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then we turn around and go to Kansas City. Chopped down the 3rd base line. It's foul again, and Millar will come back.
Well, with any kind of luck at all, this should be our last cool weather of the season. We will definitely have nice weather in Texas and Anaheim. Then we'll return back to Fenway, and I would imagine by then things will be a little bit warmer than they've been.
I wouldn't hold your breath. The way this winter has gone, I don't see it clearing out of here just that quickly. But it would be nice, and I hope you're right.
It's easy pack for this next road trip. 3 Nesson shirts.
Yeah, is that what we've decided to do in Texas?
Oh, yeah.
With the Nesson gear.
Oh, yeah.
Our spring training look from hot Arlington. And the dirt jumps away from Greg Myers, and Manny will move up to second, maybe beyond. Myers taking a long time to locate it. And by the time he does, Manny rounds second, but he'll be at second with nobody out.
If I was you, Don, too, I would bring an extra Nesson shirt just in case, because you know how you have those ribs in Texas, and if you get some all over your shirt, you'll have to have an extra one.
It was ugly last year. I was double-fisted at one point. The best ribs I've ever had in the booth in Texas. A friend who always cooks for us, a Boston native. 1-2 to Millar. Chopped again outside third. It's been quite a battle between Tam and Millar.
Yeah, Tam's had the good sinker going, and Kevin's been hitting right on top of it, pulling it foul.
So he hopped up and grabbed a fan. Unfortunately, in that first row. He's all right. He's got the baseball.
That's the most important thing. Everybody seems to be okay, and he's got the souvenir.
I think it may have just knocked the wind out of him. One-two is chopped foul. I think my first foul ball over there as a kid in the game against the Detroit Tigers. Enos Cabell wrapped it over in that general direction. My dad knocked it down, and then got my first foul ball in a major league game.
Got great seats.
It was terrific.
I don't ever remember sitting there as a kid down in that section.
Oh, that's great. Your favorite vantage point here at Fenway Park is you bend right back around, look right into the hitter. Vantage point you can't get anywhere else in baseball. Millar finally strikes out. A long battle with Jeff Tam, and Tam wins the battle for the first out here in the 6th inning.
Right fielder, number 7.
Something off speed. It looked like a changeup possibly from Jeff Tam, but got Millar to chase it. So Kevin today has that 14-game hitting streak on the line, currently 0 for 3. There's some changes in that Red Sox dugout. That area there used to be where the camera position is. Now it's where the bat rack and things are. They've expanded it.
But it is shortened up on the other end, as that's now where our camera angle is. Bob Tomaselli, who's been on the line of fire down there, and some foul balls to begin the season, has his own area at the end of the dugout. Got to set up a nice little seating area. John Burkett taking advantage of it right now. A nice little back there that was not there. One out. Ramirez at second. Nixon 2 for 3 today, a double and a triple. And he has driven in 3 runs. Trout's wife Catherine will be running the Boston Marathon on Monday again after a couple of years off. That's the birth of their son. And she's back at it on Monday. Trout was hoping to get over there after the game and before we take off for Texas to hopefully at least greet her at the finish line on Monday. Nixon quickly ahead 3-0.
Looks like they got to intentionally put on Nixon with the 3-0 count. Start over with Bill Miller and see if they can get a ground ball.
That's the 7th walk charged to Toronto, the first of the intentional variety. And it'll bring up Bill Miller, 1 out.
Number 11.
Do you ever run any long distances, marathon or anything like that? I can't even imagine.
I can't. Yeah, you're right, Don. I can't imagine it. How about the triathletes? The marathon, just 1/3 of that thing.
I don't run, nonetheless swim and then bike, or whatever order it's in. Mix in some jellyfish biting you on the way, and not my bag.
It's amazing to me the battle you have with yourself. You know what they go through for those 26, just over 26 miles. I had the pleasure one year of watching them right in the Wellesley area, and it was amazing to me how fast that leader group was going. It was almost like a sprint. And at that point, I think there was something like maybe 15 or 16 miles into the race. I mean, these guys weren't even breathing heavy. I'm saying, wow. But some of the best stories are some of the regular folks who run it for the different reasons, for charities and all the nice individual stories, and just to see those folks finish the race.
Some who have battled cancer and some of the other great stories.
Ted Williams' daughter will be running in the race on Monday with a number 9 on her back.
Considering I am the master of the 25-minute mile, I don't think that 26 would ever take place. No miss to Miller, and it's 2-2 now to Bill Miller. Gets the start today at third base.
I think if I ever ran it, I'd like to do it like Rosie Ruiz did that one year. Just kind of jump in the last couple of miles.
Take the subway for a bit. And then... That was amazing. 2-2 softly rolled down the first base line. Delgado will flip with the glove to Tam in time to get Bill Miller. Up to second goes Nixon. On the third goes Ramirez with now 2 outs in the inning.
Not an easy thing to do either for Delgado, because that first baseman's glove very big.
The designated hitter,
to be able to shuffle it right out of that glove to the pitch is a pretty good play by Delgado.
So 2 outs, and it brings up Jeremy Giambi, who is grounded out, flied out, and walked in the game after he walked in the 5th. Came around to score the 6th Boston run. Red Sox on top 7-2. As they continue to bat in the home half of the 6th inning. Towards Hudson at second. On to Delgado, and Jeff Tam gets out of the inning unscathed. So the Red Sox don't score in the bottom of the 6th. It's on to the 7th. 7-2, Red Sox on top. Kids opening day here at Fenway Park, and while the sun has been out, still a little chill to the air as the Red Sox enjoy a 7-2 lead here into the top of the 7th inning. And Jason Shield, who in his Red Sox debut enjoyed the 6th inning, gave up 1 hit, struck out 1, but had a pretty event-free 6th inning. He's got to face Carlos Delgado, Josh Phelps, and Eric Kinski in the top of the 7th inning. This one has not been moving at the most brisk pace. Blue Jays have played a very long game this season. Played 4 hours and 8 minutes on April 14th at New York.
We had a long one, that extra inning game.
Yeah, the 16th inning.
Yeah.
In the air to right center field. Nixon moving over, so's Damon. It'll be Johnny Damon without number 1. Delgado 0 for 4 today.
The designated hitter, number 17, Josh Phelps.
Here's Josh Phelps, 2 for 3 today, a single and a double. Struck out looking his last time up. So day baseball today started at 1:20, tomorrow at 2. And then on Monday, the morning game, Patriots Day, beginning at 11 here at Fenway Park.
I love that game. You know, you get we got to get a TV for up here so we can get the race. You can watch the race, do the game. It's a great atmosphere around here. And you see the runners as they come through Kenmore Square.
Loop down the right field line, and that will fall foul. Jump back up into the crowd. You picked the winner a few years ago, did you not?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, Sean and I had made our picks, and I got lucky and picked one. And I got lucky for a couple of weeks after that with picking NASCAR. But then I really hit the skids after that. I couldn't pick another one the rest of the year. Have to do that Monday. Maybe we'll make a choice.
There's Jason Shield with the pitch, popped up foul back above us, nowhere near the Castiglione booth. action in the Toronto pen. Cliff Polite pitched well against the Red Sox, a right-hander. Strikeout for Jason Shield, his second in the Red Sox uniform. 2 down in the 7th inning.
A nice little outing going here for Jason Shield. Coming in the 6th inning, had a strikeout in that inning. A high fastball here for the strikeout on Phelps. So a strange day for Phelps. He was 2 for 2, then fouled by back-to-back strikeouts. Derek Lowe got him in the 5th, and now Shield here in the 7th.
7 strikeouts for Red Sox pitching on the afternoon. 5 for Lowe and 2 for Jason Shield. Here's Eric Hinske, 2 for 3 today.
Where's Tom Caron? He's been off for a few innings. We got to get him back in the crowd somewhere. We'll take up the pace of this one.
Quality, not quantity. And the quality's been outstanding today. James Taylor and Will Ferrell. I'm not sure what he does to follow up with that. Probably in a luxury box right now somewhere, and usually wears his earpiece to know what we're talking about. All of a sudden now he's hopped up trying to find somebody. Probably cursing you under his breath.
I enjoy that segment of the show very, very much. That's why, you know, some of these longer games you could see more of TC, and they could listen to less of us. Emails have been filing in too, and they love Tom's segment over in England.
Fouled off the left side, and it's 2-2. You know, your Beatles are from England, are they not?
Liverpool, Don.
Yeah.
That's what we should have. That's what we should have done when Tommy was interviewing James Taylor. Should have had him ask about the Beatles, and I guarantee you would have got the answer that you wouldn't have liked. Greatest group of all time.
It's not that I don't like the Beatles, because I do. I missed the era.
The word that you use is overrated, and that is like it's unbelievable. Even James Taylor would have been upset with that comment.
It's just I missed the era. He was born in '68. Soon after that, Yoko shows up and blows the whole thing up. You know, so I missed it. Gone. You know, the Monkees now they're there. It's a group. In the air to left, Ramirez heading back. Manny will make the catch front of the wall. Eric Hinske deep to left, but Ramirez back shy of the wall to bring it in. A 1-2-3 7th, 7-2 Boston.
Back at Fenway, we go to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch here at Fenway. 7-2, the Red Sox have the lead. Well, now it's time to keep score with Nesson, sponsored by Pepsi. This play coming back in the 4th inning. Bill Miller stealing second base, and the Red Sox picking up a run as Todd Nixon scored. The way I had it scored on my scorecard, I had a walk for Miller, and then I had him with an SB, and then the error on the catcher with the run scoring.
Those are B's.
For more tips on how to keep score, pick up your free Nesson Viewer's Guide at Pepsi Displays, located at your local Shores Market and Star Market.
Those look like houses. They look like bees.
Well, they're bees. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's the right way to score, but that's how I do it.
Jason Varitek, Johnny Damon, and Todd Walker to face a new pitcher, Cliff Polite.
8th appearance for Cliff this season. Record of 0-1. He's worked 6 2/3, 10 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts.
Varitek's been on base 3 times today. He's hit by a pitch, reached on a 2-base error, and singled to right field his last time up. Toronto is out hitting Boston 8-7, despite trailing 7-2 to the Red Sox.
Yeah, Red Sox had one big inning back in the 3rd where they got the 5 runs.
nice bounce-back performance by Jeff Tam today. I'm sure he feels much better about himself. And as I mentioned earlier, those guys can't wait to get back out there and put that other one behind them.
Too low to Varitek. Is sent foul up above us and off to the left. So do you have every Beatles record ever made?
Probably at one point, yes, I did. Even some that were never put out.
Really?
Had that, what do they call the anthology thing? Some on there that were never really released.
Varitek hits it high and deep to right. If it stays fair, it's gone, but that will move foul. Back deep down the right field line, but a long foul ball for Jason Varitek.
It's interesting, Don, the big money makers as far as tours go are all the old groups, you know, like when McCartney made his tour, the Rolling Stones always bring in big money.
Popped up off third. Larry Kinski moving over towards his dugout and makes the catch. And the box seats jetting out in the dugout, but Kinski makes the catch for the first out.
The center fielder.
So your feeling is that the old bands are the better bands. None of the new bands have.
No, I did not say that. No, there's some tremendous quality out there today, but you know those songs. I mean, people still hum them. They still know the words to them. They still play at ballparks all the time. Classics.
One out. Here comes Johnny Damon. So you're more apt to listen to yesteryear than Dave Matthews today, who
absolutely,
some of them.
Without a doubt. Yeah. You ever seen my CD collection?
Yes, I have. It's rather old.
That's right. Love Connie Francis. Do you like Connie Francis?
No. Do you like Guy Lombardo and Patsy Cline too?
Well, my first partner, God rest his soul, Ned Martin, he was a huge Frank Sinatra fan.
Really?
And Ned would kind of come into the booth and he'd be humming, singing a Sinatra song just about every day.
Well, Sinatra, I understand. That brings home. Fouled off the left side. 1-2 to Johnny Damon. Red Sox on top 7-2 as they bat here in the last of the 7th inning. And Damon doesn't chase. 1-2. Inning started today for Toronto. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 4 of the 7 earned. He walked 5, struck out 2, and on the hook right now with his ball club trailing by 5 runs. We've seen Doug Creek, Jeff Tam, and now Cliff Polite out of the Toronto bullpen. And so far, none of the relievers have given up a run since coming in. Right-hander with the 1-2. Little looper into shallow left. Woodward going out, and he can't get it. Balls between Woodward and Shannon Stewart. And Johnny Damon has his 2nd hit of the day.
And both hits for Damon today going to the opposite field. A double back in the 3rd inning. Now just a little pop-up. Perfect location. Drops it in between Woodward and Shannon Stewart. So the Red Sox tie the Blue Jays in the hit column, but the Red Sox have the 5-run lead.
Here's Todd Walker with 1 out, 1 on. Walker has 2 hits today and a walk. He's also flied to right. driven in 2 runs, and now 8 RBIs on the season for Walker. Good sprawling play from Greg Myers. Cliff Politte came over to the Blue Jays a year ago on May 26th. Traded to Toronto in exchange for left-handed pitcher Dan Plesac, the veteran. Pitched in the big leagues with the Cardinals and the Phillies before coming to the Blue Jays last year. Spent 5 years with the Philadelphia Phillies. Center field. Vernon Wells looking up into the bright sunshine. 2 down, and back to the bag at first goes Johnny Damon. Two outs, and it brings up Nomar Garciaparra. 0 for 3 today with a walk. Out after the first pitch. Nomar down 0-1.
You mentioned those shadows earlier, and they're in a spot right now that can make it more difficult on hitters. Have to pick up the spin on the breaking ball.
About it. Did he go? No, says Laz Diaz, first base umpire. Omar down 1-2. Well, it's kind of neat how they have added the National League scoreboard out there in left field now. After just having the American League for years, but National League now out there, and it can keep up on the NL games. Seems like the guys behind the wall have more work to do now, though.
Yeah, they come out between innings to make the adjustments on the National League side.
Guess they've not yet broken through the wall to those areas to do it from behind the wall.
Yeah, there's very little space behind the American League side, but they can change those numbers from inside. But apparently they haven't been able to bust through the wall to make that tunnel to the National League side. So they come out between innings and make the adjustments. A lot of National League action this afternoon.
They're out there to behind the wall for the first time on opening day before the ceremony on the field, and they had a lot of water out there, and I always thought it would be more of a, I don't know. I mean, it's incredibly historic and amazing to be out there, but I thought it would be, I don't know, more updated perhaps than what it was. But it was neat to see all the signatures back there of everybody and all the players that have come through. Pretty incredible area. 2-2 to Nomar. But I thought there'd be more space in the wings. I mean, it's very, very small.
There's not much room at all.
Two to Nomar. Lined and snared on the backhand by Orlando Hudson. Gets a good break at second base, and the Red Sox are gone in the 7th. We played 7 from Fenway, 7-2 Boston.
Back at Fenway, 7-2 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Stay tuned after the game for the WB Mason Extra Innings, New England's Red Sox postgame show with extra highlights, interviews, and analysis. Hosted by Bob Rogers and a new lineup of studio analysts. After the last inning, the action is just beginning, and Johnny Damon in house for the WB Mason Extra Innings postgame show.
And Jason Shield, who's had 2 shutout innings out of the Boston bullpen in his Red Sox debut, works here into the 8th and faces the bottom 3rd of the Toronto order. Greg Myers, who walked 3 times against Derek Lowe today. Only walks that Derek surrendered in his 5 innings of work, and the Red Sox bullpen has helped out here today as Derek Lowe trying to get his 3rd victory of the season.
It's like a lot of rosin on that cap of Jason Shield.
1-1 to Myers, chopped into the Boston dugout. Shield's given up 1 hit over 2 innings and has struck out 2. Has now retired 4 Blue Jays in a row.
Nice curveball.
Make it 5. 3rd strikeout for Jason Shield. Myers down by way of the K.
Boy, that's one of those 12-6 curveballs for Jason Shield. Starts it out of the strike zone and then picks up the outside corner about knee high.
Well, Shield is dealing. The Red Sox have action in the pen. Brandon Lyon. Here's Chris Woodward, the Blue Jays shortstop, takes strike 1. Woodward is 0 for 3 today. Reached base in the 4th inning on a miscue by Nomar Garciaparra. 1 error today for the Red Sox. 3 errors for the Toronto Blue Jays. Red Sox have just now, with their error today, jumped into double figures in errors. Their 10th error of the season in their 17th game, while the Blue Jays now have 20 errors with their 3 errors today and have the most errors in the American League. Two and 1 to Chris Woodward. Has been battling a sore left shoulder lately. There's a strike. 2-2 to Woodward.
Mike Bordick got the start at shortstop last night for the Blue Jays. Of course, we saw him get his first start at 3rd base when we were in Toronto.
First ever career start at 3rd base for Mike Bordick. The 2-2. Full count to Woodward. Frank Catalinato, Josh Phelps, and Eric Kinsky each with 2 hits for Toronto. They are tied with the Red Sox in hits with 8. And a walk, the first given up by Shield of his outing. A 1-out walk at that. Well, earlier we were talking about behind the wall, and there's a look at what it looks like inside the Green Monster and all those big signatures. From visiting players and, of course, home players, but the space back there not very large as they hang the numbers.
Well, Wally's not that big. He doesn't need a lot of room, but it's awfully nice of him to let those guys sign the wall.
So where are his living quarters? You know, like in the White House where they have the living quarters. Where
he's got a lot of tunnels, a lot of underground tunnels.
Wally has office space behind the wall.
Well, so he also owns that. I mean, the purchase of the club by John Henry and Company last year, they had to pay Wally to buy that wall. So that, you know, that added to the price. This man here is set for life.
So let me get this straight. They purchased the Red Sox, Nesson and Wally.
Wally's property, yes.
Okay.
They did.
I didn't know.
little man sitting there, he's got more money than you could ever imagine. That's why he's smiling all the time.
Hudson to center field. Damon moving in fast, diving and making the catch. Johnny Damon with the catch. Sinking fast, and Damon able to make the catch to retire Hudson. 2 down.
Johnny Damon got a great jump on this line drive. The dive closes the glove up just before he hits the grass, and almost got the double play at first base. I tell you, in this kind of game that has really dragged along at a slow pace, you really got to stay alert to be able to make a play like that. And let's hope that Johnny didn't hurt his shoulder diving for that.
Really old tuck and roll there from Damon in center. As this is sent to right, diving in right is Nixon. He makes the catch. A defensive clinic from the Red Sox. Damon and Nixon. Inning over. On to the bottom of the 8th. 7-2 Boston. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Fenway Park, ready for the last of the 8th inning, as the Red Sox in this one receive some good pitching early on from Derek Lowe. Got the start for Boston this afternoon, his 4th start of the year. And in 5 innings, Derek Lowe had 5 strikeouts. Gave up 2 runs. They were unearned runs at that. And the rest of the numbers for Derek. Tanyan Sturtz, the Worcester native, starting today for Toronto. 7 runs, 4 of them earned. Nixon with a double, triple, and 2 runs driven in. Walker with a good afternoon also. And the debut, Red Sox debut for Jason Shield, who in 3 innings shut out the Blue Jays. Very nicely done coming up from Pawtucket for Jason Shield. New pitcher for Toronto, their closer, Kelvin Escobar.
He's had a tough time here in the early going, making his 6th appearance. He's worked 4 innings, allowing 11 hits and 10 earned runs. 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. Those are not numbers we're accustomed to seeing from Escobar. He last worked against the Yankees back on the 16th.
26-year-old Venezuelan who throws hard. Manny Ramirez. Well, single to right his last time up. Manny 1 for 3 today. Was hit by a pitch. And got in a shouting match with Tanyan Sturtz. Emptied the benches here at Fenway and the bullpens, but no punches thrown. I really wonder with a long series here, a 4-game series over the weekend, if that is the last we will hear of that situation.
Yeah, I would think so. That wasn't much. I think Manny overreacted to that situation there.
Ramirez, Millar, and Nixon face Escobar. Misses down low. Scoreboard has that at 98 miles per hour from Escobar. Save situations 54 out of 67 in his career. There's a strike to Ramirez. Escobar has been used as a starter and a reliever for Toronto. His entire career spent with the Blue Jays. And 2-2. Ramirez fights it off foul. Still 2-2. Escobar made 24 starts back in 2000. And 30 of them in 99. In fact, he was 14-11 in 30 starts back in 99. Hard throwing Toronto right-hander. Full count to Ramirez. Strike 3 to Ramirez. And he gets the bad news from Dale Scott for out number 1 here in the 8th. Let's check in with Tom Caron. Tom?
All right. Don, thanks very much. You know, I was perfectly happy staying in the press box. You shamed me into coming out and doing another one of these. So we found the Boston Bruins. Joe Thornton and the guys are here. Unfortunately, season at an end, Joe, quicker than you wanted it to be.
Yeah, you know, obviously it'd be nice to play till about June, but you know, things didn't work out, so we'll just, you know, have to be ready for next year.
I know you're a baseball fan, and when you first came to Boston, we took you to a game here. You're down in the Nesson box, and you've been a Red Sox fan since you got here.
Yeah, you know, I'm a diehard Sox fan now, and, you know, I just obviously like seeing them beat the Jays, but, you know, I'm excited to be here right now.
Real quickly, this is Peter Henderson. He's the equipment manager in charge of the music. What's the greatest band ever, Peter?
The Beatles.
No question.
No question. I know Don likes Backstreet Boys, but Jerry and I like the Beatles.
All right, there you have it, guys. Back to you.
Yeah. How about that? High, deep to left, off the bat of Millar and foul. I used to like Peter Henderson. Spent some quality time together in the American Hockey League. He was with the Providence Bruins for a long time, and now the great equipment manager for the Boston Bruins.
So he's not lying. He knows that you are a big fan of the Backstreet Boys.
Dave Matthews, Pearl Jam, occasionally AC/DC guy. Thank you. Not a Beatles fan, as now Peter's getting phone calls from friends in England. 1-1 will miss. 2-1. Furthermore, my dog's name is Knopfler, named after Mark Knopfler, Dire Straits. So take your Backstreet Boys.
Do you still have that dog?
My mother now has it. Yes, I donated it to Mom. 2-1 misses, and it's now 3-1. It's getting a little snippy around the house. Had to go. But it's still named Knopfler. And that is a lid.
Carrot Top.
I think that's his real hair.
A lot of celebrities here today.
I think he quite possibly could be the worst comedian of all time. In the air to left field. Shannon Stewart moving back. Makes the catch in left. 2 down, and Millar's hitting streak may have come to an end here as he bats in the 8th. After 14 straight games for Kevin Millar.
Number 7, Trot Nixon.
2 down, and it brings up Trot Nixon. A little harsh on Carrot Top. I just don't really get him. Escobar trying to have a 1-2-3 inning. There have only been 2 today. Make that 3 today. 2 for Red Sox pitching, and Toronto has never done it during the game. The Red Sox have had base runners in every inning. On the ground towards Hudson. At second to Delgado, and Toronto enjoys their first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. On to the 9th inning. 7-2 Red Sox on top. Boston Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. By your local New England Ford dealers. If you haven't looked at a Ford lately, look again. See your New England Ford dealer today. And by Bernie and Phil's. Let our family make your family comfortable. Top of the 9th inning. It's been quite a day for Johnny Damon and Trot Nixon. And the Red Sox lead 7-2 as we head to the top of the 9th inning. And the Red Sox have a new pitcher, Brandon Lyon.
Appearance number 6 for Lyon. His last, he picked up a save, and that was against Tampa Bay on Wednesday, an inning in that game. Overall, he's worked 8 innings, allowing 4 hits, only 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Opponents only hitting 148.
There's Frank Catalinato, who has 2 hits today, single and a double, 2 for 4. And then first strike. Well, Jason Shield, 3 shutout innings, giving up just 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 3 in his Red Sox debut. The line in left, making its way towards the stands and just into them 32,329 on hand here today for kids opening day at Fenway Park. Back into the seats off the third base side. Still 1-2 to Catalinato. Sox and Toronto Blue Jays have played 19 times this season, 9 games at Skydome and 10 here at Fenway Park. The Red Sox will finish up their entire 3 series with Toronto prior to the All-Star break. They get that out of the way pretty quickly.
All 19 games before the All-Star break?
No. The ones in Skydome.
Oh, in Skydome.
3 series that we go to Skydome. Will all be done before the All-Star break. Popped up into shallow left field. Nomar moving around as the ball was moving around due to the wind. 1 down.
Well, we remind you this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
1 out. It brings up Vernon Wells at an infield hit back in the 3rd inning and is 1 for 4 with a strikeout as he too pops it up. Walker and Nomar right in behind the bag at second. 2 down. Garcia Parra is ably handled 2 pop-ups.
The first baseman, number 25, Carlos Delgado.
Toronto down to their last out. And Carlos Delgado looking for his first hit of the day. 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, a ground out and a fly out. Strike 1 to Carlos Delgado. The Delgado shift is on in the Boston infield. 3 infielders on the right side. Another strike. 0-2 quickly to Delgado.
Brandon Lyon pitching against the team that he used to pitch for, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Now the 0-2. Up top 1-2 to Delgado. Didn't chase. He was claimed off waivers as the Blue Jays tried to slide him through waivers. 23-year-old right-hander. The Red Sox have picked him up and he's been good. 2-2 to Delgado. The numbers for Lyon were not great with the Blue Jays, but it did appear they gave up on him awfully early. A 2-2 pitch. Full count to Delgado. Was 0-2, but it's a full count now to Carlos Delgado with the DH Josh Phelps waiting on deck. In the center field for a base hit. So Delgado, after going 0 for 4 today and quickly being in the hole 0-2, gets a base hit.
Yeah, very little question about that one too. A line shot right over the head of Brandon Lyon.
17, Josh.
Had to put him away on a 3-2 fastball and right back through the middle for Delgado. And he's now got a 4-game hitting streak.
Here's the DH Josh Phelps. 2 hits today, single and a double, and 2 strikeouts. In the air to right field. This should do it as Nixon moves in. does indeed do it. The Red Sox with the victory today. Brandon Lyon in the ninth, giving up a hit, but that was it. And the Red Sox win this one 7-2 and make Derek Lowe a winner for the third time this season.
The Foxwood chance plays of the game. Two outfielders, Johnny Damon taking a base hit away from Orlando Hudson, and on the very next hitter, Trot Nixon with a diving play against Shannon Stewart. The Foxwood chance plays of the game.
And the totals for this one, the Red Sox win at 7-2. The winner, Derek Lowe, 3-1. Tanyan Sturtz suffers his first loss of the young season. He falls to 2-1. For Jerry Remy, this is Don Orsillo saying so long from Fenway for now. It's now time for the W.B. Mason's Extra Innings with Bob Rogers. Bob?
All right, Donnie, thanks very much. This is a good time to be a Red Sox fan. Everything seems to be working. They take advantage of the hit batsman in that big 5-run inning. In the third inning, Jason Varitek gets hit, and the Red Sox end up putting a 5 spot up.
Well, when you get these guys starting to hit, every time it's catchy. Either they're walking, they're hitting, and it's just catching on. Winning is a habit.
We'll talk more about this new guy, too. Jason Shield does the job out of the pen. Wow. We'll get to him, and also Johnny Damon in studio on WB Mason.